Soccer Saturday. For football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody who wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
And again, it's picked off. It's Darius Leonard. A pick six for the Maniac. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Yes, sir.
Oh, the Dickens. Double time.
Miles Turner.
Yeah.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, welcome in. We've got some double shot power of our own here today. We're at Coach's Tavern. We're downtown with our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots for week number 15, and also a Tavern tour stop where Tommy S. will join us here at Coach's Tavern coming up in a bit. I have a streak on the line. And I know, because Brent, who's going to join me in a second, our betting analyst, already brought it up, and others have brought it up too. Oh, you talk all that junk. It's been 5 years since you've been sick, and you haven't been sick. Hey, the ugly head of sickness is coming at me, but I'm battling right now. I battled it yesterday. I've battled it all day today. I have slept. I took a 25-minute power nap in our parking garage before I walked over here. So I am battling this thing today. It's trying to get me, though. No doubt about it. Messing with the voice, trying to get me. But I'm battling. And I know a lot of you, too. And by the way, shout out to everybody. I know a lot of people out there are dealing with it. And somebody you know very well is not here today. Kyle Udemark is out. Kyle Udemark, I think he's more of the crapping his pants variety right now. He's got a little stomach flu going. I think Luca handed off a little stomach flu or something to him, so he is out today. And a shout-out to Eddie Garrison, who is pulling back-to-back double duty for us this afternoon. So we appreciate Eddie and what he's doing for us. We want Kyle to get better. I want me to get better because tomorrow as well, we got something going on. Obviously, a Bud Light Blue Friday we'll talk about. But I'm going into a weekend where it's ready to go here, Cam, by the way, too, where we need to feel better. And I don't want to break this streak. Now, this is the non-hungover division because 3 years ago today, I think it was, either 3 years ago today or 3 years ago tomorrow, I was an absolute mess in New Orleans. I was actually more of a mess than the Colts were. Remember, that was the day when Drew Brees couldn't miss in that Monday night game. And I don't know how much of it I saw because I couldn't lift my head. Man, New Orleans pinched me on that day. It was ugly. It was. But that's being hungover. This is, a sickness is trying to get me, and we are certainly going to battle. I'll bring on our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, coming up in just a minute. Again, we'd love to see you at Coach's Tavern today. We've got these samples that are already flowing. Part of what I do here, and you guys can see this, is this Larceny Bourbon shot cures what ails you. So I don't know if there's any way that this ugly stuff that is trying to overtake me health-wise right now can battle the Larceny Bourbon. But we got a shot of that. We got samples for you flowing this afternoon and a busy show for you. Pacers last night with a win. In fact, our promotions guy, Zach, was just across the street, and Buddy Hield was coming out of his building right here, right? Pacers, I think, are on a 3 o'clock flight right now to Cleveland. Well, they play the Cavaliers coming up tomorrow night. Pacers, it just seemed like last night all the guys that were, a big part of Golden State, they just kept chipping away and leaving. Steph Curry with the shoulder. Draymond Green with a bad attitude. Mad. I'd be mad, too. Did you guys see his numbers last night? He was terrible. Turned the ball over like 5 or 6 times, too. He was held over mad from Milwaukee, where he got that dude thrown out of the stadium the night prior. But he was mad last night. Steph Curry was going off. Here's the one thing. I completely get this. I get it that you are Steph Curry fans. Steph Curry is a generational player. And I'm not mad about that. I rarely make fun of it, all right? I rarely make fun of it. And maybe because you're a fan of Steph Curry, that also makes you a big fan of Golden State. Here's what I would have asked last night. When Steph Curry went out, I mean, he was shooting the lights out. What do you have, 38, had to leave, whatever. But he was shooting the lights out. Everybody rocking their Steph Curry jerseys. Everybody was fired up, and you should. You should. And back in the day, I didn't wear Pacer gear either. I rolled up here when Dr. J came to town. Seriously. I rolled up here when the Sixers came to town because I wanted to see Dr. J. I came here once upon a time when I was 12, I think 1980, 81, 82, December of 81. I just had turned 12. One of the few things I remember with my father, we rolled up here in the van from Bedford on State Road 37 up here to watch the Lakers. That is when I watched Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never cross half court, and he played that game in Adidas low tops. It looked like he just threw some shoes on before he came out there. But we always came to watch the other teams. Now, ideally, you don't want that. Thank you, Tommy, yes, nowadays. Here's what I would ask. And again, you don't have to wait until next year now. It's not going to happen again until next year. But it's one thing when Curry's knocking down threes and everybody's excited. That's a Curry fan. I get that. But why do you care when JaMychal Green is knocking down threes or Dante DiVincenzo is knocking down threes? Like, those roars last night were as loud as the Curry roars. Come on, you don't care about DiVincenzo. You don't care about JaMychal Green. So that stood out to me last night. I've never gotten on fans for being fans. Or at least if I did back in the day, I think I've matured. I've grown up from that. So I've never gotten on fans for being fans because I remember what it's like, too. You know, we had the Pacers around here back in the day. No Colts football. I was a Bears fan. I would have done anything. All I ever wore, every elementary picture I have is a Bears Sears jersey, which is awesome, by the way, too. Bring that stuff back, Sears. I mean, I know Sears sucks right now. It's going down the toilet if it hadn't already gone down the toilet. But one of the great things, besides tough skins, besides Craftsman material, they did great NFL gear. That's what we need back, the Sears NFL gear. There's not one elementary photo that I have going back in my years at Eastern where I was not wearing a Bears 34 jersey. So I understand where you're coming from. I just don't get it with Dante DiVincenzo. I don't get it with JaMychal Green. I guess that makes you a fan of Golden State. So if I was going to think anything was lame last night, it was that. Because when DiVincenzo was knocking down threes late in the fourth, those cheers were as loud as they were for Steph Curry before he exited with that bum shoulder. But you got to be a fan. You're going to be a fan. That's cool. Pacers get a win last night. The Pacers can be fortunate, can't they? Cam and I were talking about that a little bit earlier. No Klay Thompson, no Andrew Wiggins. And then as the course of that game went along, the main contributors of Golden State were going by the wayside. So, yeah, a win last night. Bennedict Mathurin was awesome. He had 9 straight at one point that really did save him, if you want to call it a savior. I'll tell you what really saved him. What saved him last night was Miles Turner. That challenge was savvy. That challenge was savvy because it kept him on the floor. He made 1 of 2 free throws after that challenge was deemed successful. But then he came down on Jordan Poole and erased that shot attempt. That is one thing you're going to see whenever Miles is going to get traded. And a lot of you are going to be really happy about that. The one thing you're going to see is it's going to be an absolute layup line to the rim every single game. It's going to drive you nuts. And then you're all going to come back to me and go, hey, you know what? You were right all along. But that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a layup line. Because even just thinking he's out there, these guys have their rearview mirror on. I mean, they're looking in their rearview mirror knowing that somebody is lurking on them. Here's another thing. Tyrese Halliburton had a fantastic bounce back last night. And I know that that's what players do nowadays. I can't remember when this first started. Somebody can help me. This is when I remember it. It probably started before that. But I remember in a Tom Crean IU offense, I remember Yogi Ferrell driving baseline under the basket and jumping in the air to make a jump pass out to the top of the key or to the wing. And if you remember back when we grew up playing basketball, we would be running stair laps for doing stuff like that. If there was one thing you were not allowed to do back then, it was that. And now that is a part of the passer's repertoire. Jumping up, nowhere to go, boom. That's one thing, and I think it may have been Eddie Gill on the radio broadcast last night, and I can't remember if it was Eddie Gill on the radio broadcast or Eddie Gill at half. But he brought this up, and he's absolutely right, and I was thinking the same thing. You can tell right now that the rest of the NBA, that NBA advanced scouting report is catching up with Halliburton because every time he jumps in the air, these guys are now staying home. And he has nowhere to go with it. And you can see a lot more turnovers happening because he jumps up into the air with nowhere to go. That is one thing, because not only do you adjust with the advanced scouting, if you're the team doing the scouting, but then Halliburton and the Pacers adjust to that scout too. That's something I'll get to in a minute. We'll get to our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, Tommy S. of the Coach's Tavern coming up in just a second. But we do have news from West Lafayette, from Golden Black Illustrated. Tom Dienhart is with us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So a lot of news floating around at West Lafayette today, huh, Tommy D?
Man, do you have any eligibility left, John?
What's that?
Nobody. Do you have any eligibility left?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you guys need me to come up there and show out in the Citrus Bowl?
We need somebody to rush the passer, maybe catch a few passes, cover some kicks. Yeah, pack your bags and come to West Lafayette, and then we'll take you to Orlando.
I'm assuming that was going to be understood. Was that all anticipated, this mass exodus of a thrower, catchers, rushing the passer guys? I mean, essential Purdue players not being a part of the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah, it's kind of started catching wind of this 4 or 5 days ago that O'Connell may not play. Charlie Jones, for sure, he was the first one we heard about. And then Payne Durham to a lesser degree. So now it became reality. O'Connell and Durham went public today. Jones hasn't, but Brian Brom confirmed that to the media today when he talked after practice. So, yeah, I mean, huge holes, John. And last week I reported that their number one cornerback, Corey Trice, had signed with an agent and wasn't going to play. And Corey took to social media today and sent out a goodbye tweet. And, John, there may be more bad news coming. Word is there's another prominent Purdue defensive player that's probably not going to play against LSU on January 2nd.
Not surprising, though, right? So now, how's this going to look? So because of this exodus, who's going to get this opportunity to play for Brian Brom in the Citrus Bowl?
That's what it is, opportunity, right? He talked about that today. Austin Burton's going to start at quarterback. Of course, Austin started one game this year, led Purdue to a win against Florida Atlantic. Of course, remember, he came from UCLA. He's been on campus here for 3 years. So he's going to be the guy who starts. You know, tight end, they've got Paul Paferi. He's going to be the number one guy there now without Payne Durham. And then no Charlie Jones. You know, John, there's a lot of decent receivers at Purdue. You know, Sheffield and Burks and Racine, Tracy. But you know what? There's nobody like Charlie Jones. So the guys they've got some good numbers and bodies, but there's nobody of that playmaking ilk.
I guess what I should be asking you, so how's the exodus looking for Brian Kelly and LSU to this point? Have you heard anything there?
Not really. Yeah, I need to look into that. There was talk about his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, not playing. So I need to see what their exodus is going to be. I'm sure they're going to lose guys early. It's LSU. This is common practice there. So just always a battle of attrition at this time of year, and it's too bad when this is supposed to be the apex of your season. You have the rosters falling apart. And heck, for Purdue's sake, too, John, the coaching staff roster's falling apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, you add one, though. Future Hall of Famer Drew Brees is in the mix as an assistant coach going in. Is this more a PR play, or is this legit here?
I was told they didn't want it to come off like that. That's why he was hired as an accountable assistant coach is how it was phrased. Accountable assistant coach, John. He can legitimately coach during practices, during the bowl game, and get this, he also can recruit. So it's not just a ceremonial thing, although that's certainly part of it. But I think they wanted to put some teeth to this. I don't want to call it a PR stunt, but they want to put some teeth to bringing him aboard on a temporary basis. So, hey, why not, right?
What do you think it is? Is it more just an oh wow effect for Boilermaker fans and for national headlines?
I do. Sort of like bringing out Santa Claus to make everybody happy. Bring out Drew Brees when times are tough. Sure, I mean, it's going to be cool to have Drew Brees pick up the phone and talk to an 18-year-old high school kid and say, hey, I'm Drew Brees. Why don't you come to Purdue? But, oh, by the way, I'm going to be gone in a week. But still, I mean, why not? Well, you got nothing to lose. You're at Purdue, right? And he wants to do it. He loves Purdue, a great ambassador. So why not? Plus, some of these kids on the current roster, the quarterbacks especially, are going to get a chance to have Drew Brees sort of whispering in their ear. And I'm sure he's going to send a message to try to keep this roster together, too, for some of the young guys to hopefully stick around, especially, John, that good young quarterback Purdue has from Gibson Southern you talked about, Brady Allen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait. So who's going to be the quarterback in the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah, again, it's going to be Austin Burton. And he's going to be the guy. Again, like I said, he's a sixth-year senior, started one game this year. But you know what? Brian Brohm said today that his backup is going to be Michael Alamo, a redshirt sophomore. And Brian Brohm said that Michael Alamo, they were going to try to get him some action, too. Not so sure about Brady Allen. He may not be ready for this yet. But so maybe there's a chance Purdue plays two quarterbacks. Again, Austin Burton, and then maybe some dribs and drabs of Michael Alamo.
Ryan Walters was introduced yesterday to the media as the new head coach of the Boilermakers. You and I thought that this was going to be a substantial offensive lean. It was not. I think the initial outcry from Boilermaker fans was one of questionable. But after that press conference yesterday and what everybody has read and heard and viewed regarding Ryan Walters, Tommy D, how's everybody think?
Yeah, you get some time to sleep on it. I think fans have settled down. And I think, like you said, he was pretty convincing in that opening presser on Wednesday. He's a young guy, John, 36 years old.
Right.
Still looks like he could play football. Very engaging. Checks a lot of the boxes. And at least of the things I had heard about him leading into this thing. I've had a chance to talk to several people who've worked for him or who he's worked for in recent years. And again, if you watch an Illinois football game this year, I'm sure the TV announcers were gushing about Ryan Walters, saying how one day this guy was going to be a head coach. Well, it's happened. But again, I was like you. I think a lot of people thought we would want to turn this over to a proven head coach. But Mike Bobinski did a 180 here. Not only was not a proven head coach, but it's a guy from the defensive side of the ball. So now, John, the big question looms. Who's going to be the offensive coordinator, and what's his offense exactly going to look like?
What do you think? Are they going to go big, notable? Because to me, it would seem you got to go to somebody, don't you, that can, be really specific as far as offensively speaking. Because I guess everybody expects with Purdue, they expect, a great offensive philosophy, getting that ball down the field. Any idea the direction in which Tommy D they're going to go?
I do think it's going to be a spread offense that is a little bit more quarterback-centric, which plays, obviously, to Purdue's heritage as a cradle of quarterback. So I do expect, again, an offense that is, again, more spread them out and slinging around. I do think you've got to bring in a proven OC. I don't think you can pair a guy who's never called plays with a head coach who's never been a head coach before. That's just me. A couple names to keep in your hopper, John, as possible OCs. Graham Harrell, the OC at West Virginia. And keep an eye on Seth Luttrell, maybe a familiar name to Indiana fans. He was an assistant under Kevin Wilson back in the day. Was most recently the head coach at North Texas. Two guys who have offenses that like to throw it around. And Seth Luttrell in particular has a connection to Ryan Walters. So just a couple early names of guys who may be under consideration, but who knows?
Tommy D, Golden Black Illustrators on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Final thing before I let you go here. Who else was on that list? And I will say this, it seemed like that it was a small inner circle of decision makers up there with Mike Babinski and company, because that didn't leak until the last possible second right there. So that was a job well done.
Yeah, Babinski, the chair of the board of trustees, a guy named Mike Berghoff, I think he was heavily involved. And then they had the search firm. I think it was a small, tight, committed group of people. And that's what you need to keep secret, right? As far as who else they talked to, I feel confident saying they talked to Tyson Helton, the head coach at Western Kentucky. I feel confident saying they talked to the Kansas State head coach, Chris Kleiman. And I do think they talked also to Jamarcus Shepard, the former Purdue assistant coach, who's now at Washington as an assistant coach for Kalen DeBoer. I feel kind of strong, John, they talked to Mike Elko at Duke and Dave Clawson at Wake Forest and Todd Monken at Georgia. So, again, I'm not sure how wide the circle was when they were looking for this head coach, but like you said, they certainly were a committed group that kept it awfully secretive right up to the last minute.
No doubt about that. Hey, Tommy D, I appreciate you hopping on here with the latest from West Lafayette. Certainly a lot of news. I talked to Matt Painter yesterday for a significant period of time, so that was a hell of a conversation. And the basketball Boilers, number one in the nation, get Davidson down here right across the street from where I am on Saturday.
Yeah, Naptown, doubleheader. The Lawyer boys get to play against each other, right? And that'll be fun. It's always fun. Downtown Indianapolis at the holiday season is a great place. So hopefully it's an event a lot of people can enjoy.
You got it, buddy. I appreciate you hopping on here, Tommy T.
Well, you know that, John. Be good, buddy. Bye-bye.
Tom Dienhart at Golden Black Illustrateds on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We've got a combination for you here. Week 15, our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. And we've also got a Tavern tour stop. Let me introduce to you our betting analyst. It's Brent Hulverson, the owner of Coach's Tavern here downtown. It's one Tommy S., Tommy Sutton. Fellas, how we doing?
Outstanding.
Are we ready to go?
Let's ride.
I'm fighting this thing off right here.
I know, man. I was listening to you last week, and
I know. I was talking junk about it.
That's powerful.
I've done it over the years,
now,
though. So yeah.
JMV, I got Ryan Nally in my ear right now, going, "You better tell JMV to take his vitamins because
I know.
I think you got something to do on Sunday."
I got a little chili cook-off up
at
there.
Joe's Castleton
take
Saturday.
Your vitamins, take your bourbon, get better.
He's going to have to put a sign up on one bathroom and say JMVs.
Dressing room.
JMVs right here. But no, I'll be out there coming up on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. Fellas, what are we going to do today? Week 15. Seems like it's been forever.
It does,
we've
John.
been together.
It absolutely has.
It's been a couple months at least.
Yep. Yeah, and actually the last 2 weeks, we had last week off. Colts were on a bye. And the week before that, I was in Chicago. I did go back through, and Kyle did a stellar job, though. I mean, went through. So I put some numbers together from that last Thursday 2 weeks ago at Parks Place. How'd I do? Week 13, you went 8-7.
8-7.
I went 9. I went 9-6.
9-6.
Mr. Whitlow went 5-10. He stumbled a little bit.
Oh man,
he stumbled a little bit. So.
Sleater's going to give him some junk.
He's going to get him. Yeah, absolutely. That's all and some good loving right there. So.
Tommy S. is a big Vikings fan, by the way, which is interesting.
How did I know when I set this up? This would be the Vikings Colts week.
That's huge.
And then the thing's going to be played on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
That's
Tommy
right,
S.
That's right.
Well, we got
we got a huge weekend coming up. Okay?
Yeah.
Tomorrow we got Reba McEntire playing over at Gainbridge. You know,
Reba McEntire.
Don't let me down.
You know that I'm not big on Reba McEntire. I don't know too much out of her repertoire. Should I?
She's got some hits. I mean, if you don't like country, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Is she still a really big deal?
I think she's kind of set herself up over the years to be.
Is she kind of? I mean, I know Loretta Lynn passed away a month ago. So is she like at the top of the list of the? Is she at the top of the list of the all-time greats in country music?
Female wise,
right
I would say so. Absolutely,
she's top 5.
Yeah, for
sure. So you got that. So you're going to have a lot of Reba fans in here coming up
tomorrow night, and then Saturday, huge day on Saturday. You got the third place World Cup game, Croatia, Morocco.
Yeah,
we'll be open for that.
The consolation game.
The third place.
There's nothing worse than the consolation game.
Loser.
It's like you and I in fantasy. We're playing a consolation.
Yes.
I finished 5th. We only took 4 people.
I'll tell you what.
For playoffs?
Once upon a time when I was a freshman, Eastern Green played in I think it was a double consolation game at Switch City High School. We played at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And, they have the glass surrounding this, dug-in gymnasium. And you would get on one side of the floor, and the sun would get in your eyes as you try to take a jumper. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than the consolation game. So, yeah, the second loser, right? Second and third losers.
Second loser.
Yeah.
Because the first loser will play on Sunday. Either
Right.
France or Argentina.
Yep.
So, but then 1 o'clock, you got Colts at Vikings. Interesting game. We'll get to that.
No question.
What else we got? Oh, we got a doubleheader over the Game Bridge. We got Ball State, Northern Illinois, and Purdue Davis.
Illinois State. The Redbirds, yeah.
You got 2 more NFL games. You got Baltimore, Cleveland at 4:30, and then
Buffalo that night.
Miami, Buffalo at night's going to be a big game.
Winter Wonderland.
I love
listen,
that.
didn't they
I
already
love
have like 20-plus inches of snow on the ground?
They had.
How do you deal with that crap?
They had 4 feet.
4 feet?
They had 4
When they moved the game to Detroit, man, boy.
There were more
Who the
than
hell
that.
would want to
I think
leave?
it was 6 feet, actually, is what it was.
I know people make fun of us for, why would you want to live in Indiana? Indiana sucks. Indianapolis sucks. I don't believe that, but people say that.
We don't get lake effect snow, thank goodness.
Why
We
in
just
the
get this
world
grayness.
would you want?
Grayness.
Yeah, well, there's not a Chamber of Commerce day weather-wise out here today, no doubt. Why would you want to live in Buffalo? I mean, you got 4 feet of snow on the ground. Now it's going to snow like 2 feet more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I like snow. I'd love to live there for the snow, but actually, I'd move myself to Colorado. Just a little bit.
Yes,
a little bit more.
That stuff's going to be around. That stuff's going to be around there until May.
It's already gone, John. They're waiting for the new one now.
No, so it all melted away.
Yeah,
I think they got up to the 50s for a few days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some stuff.
What?
We got to remember those guys are used to that kind of snow, so they'll have it cleared out. It's like Minneapolis.
I've not been to Buffalo, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. Have you been to Buffalo, you guys?
I have not. No, I have not. So
maybe I should just shut up then. All right. We got our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up here in the 4 o'clock hour, week 15.
Week 15.
Fellas, anything jump off the page at you?
Well, I mean, Tommy and I were talking last night. What jumps off the page at me is this Colts-Vikings line.
Yes.
4 points.
4 points.
You got
Really?
a 10-3 team against a 4-8-1 team. Is that the Colts record?
Yeah, they're really like an 0-14 team now.
But the Vikings defense is absolutely atrocious. You might see Matty Ice come out and look like 2016 MVP Matty Ice.
Why do they suck so bad?
I've said it's the scheme that Donatell runs up there. They play a soft zone. They play a shell defense. They're 5 yards off the receivers. Quarterback's just standing there and just pick. Jared Goff picked him apart last week. Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Jared, those Lions, man, they've looked hot the last 5 weeks in a row.
I'll tell you what, 1-6 to 6-7.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Especially in Detroit. That's saying a lot. That's like hang a banner caliber stuff, right?
I need them to lose this week,
in
John.
Detroit.
I need them to lose this week.
Yeah, they're playing at the Jets, so they might.
It's going to be a good game.
Let's make a note for Brent Hulverson, the biggest Green Bay Packer fan out there, that the betting odds right now in Vegas have the favorite being the Colts to land Aaron Rodgers in the offseason.
Not going to happen.
There's no way.
No way.
I would be mad if the Colts did it. Why would the Colts want to do that? Why would anybody want to do that?
That's what they've done.
Quarterback and just
go. Exactly.
There's a ton of quarterbacks.
You've seen what it doesn't work, right? You bring these guys in for a year and they're gone. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's right.
Would you rather have Jordan Love if you're the Colts than you would Aaron Rodgers?
I would take Jordan Love.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
And I think Harvey's probably ready to take Jordan Love, too.
Are you ready to take
Well,
Jordan
you know
Love?
what? I think we got another strong year with Rodgers. I think seeing this reemergence with Christian Watson.
Christian Watson's really come to
and
life.
Dobbs is back tonight or this weekend. So that's just 2 young guys that he's been waiting to kind of come around. And look what Watson's done the last 5 weeks. He's got 8 touchdowns in 5 games, you know. So he's got the guy, you know. I don't know. And we got a 50%. Tony Donahue and I were just talking about this. He said 48% chance to make the playoffs, Packers do. I find that a little bit.
The Colts is 3.
3?
And people still buy it, I think. People still, here's what has to happen. They get, what?
Hey, chip in a chair. That's what they say, right? Chip in a chair. That's all you need.
I can't imagine it.
Never in it till you're out.
So, all right, fellas, we'll come back with you guys a little bit later on. Week 15, you guys ready to go? Anything else you want to add before we go? Besides what you got going on this weekend here?
This weekend's just action-packed. Down, like Tommy D said, great to be downtown during the holidays.
Yes.
Good place to be, very festive, lots going on, lots of sporting events. If you can't find something to do down here, you can't find anything to do.
Is the Cherub gone now? What happens to the Cherub? You know the Cherub?
Oh, on top of the old stairs?
When does he leave? When does the Cherub disappear?
I can't remember.
I thought he stayed through the entire holiday season.
I thought that
but
clock,
he's gone
that clock
now.
is still off. It's still on Eastern Daylight Time or whatever. So.
This is a question for Jake Query because I think he knows all the ins and outs of the Cherub. I should have asked him today. He called me. I should have said, hey, what's the deal? I walked by the clock and I went, wait a minute. Cherub's gone. Does he normally leave before the end of the holiday season? I thought we were all under the watchful eye of the Cherub.
I know somebody that was doing some of the Cherub a couple years ago. The poor guy fell off a ladder and he ended up passing away.
Yeah, well, I think the Cherub, under the watchful eye of the Cherub, you can see some guys probably taking a squirt or something or two up there occasionally, too.
Hey,
the Cherub's probably going to win. This is not like 1950 up in
our
here.
Our good friend Ryan Nally says the Cherub is up. It's back up.
It wasn't. I just walked by the clock. There was no Cherub on the clock.
I'm going to call Ryan Nally. He never comes downtown.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, sit tight. We'll come back with the Clayton Anderson, the country music artist, coming up on the other side. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 15, top of the hour. We also have Mike Chappell coming up a little bit later on as well. And more of me and you. Let's dive inside the lounge via YouTube Live. You can also hit us up on there's Tommy S. right there. The stream, the app, HD radio as well. Tavern Tour Stop and a Larceny Bourbon Locks and a Luna Azul Tequila Shots just in time for your holiday season downtown at Coach's Tavern. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
You wouldn't leave your health to chance. Doesn't your financial well-being deserve the same care and attention? It's time to get a complimentary wealth checkup from Edelman Financial Engines. We're Barron's #1 rated independent financial advisory firm 5 years running. So you can be confident you're getting integrated wealth management advice, including tax planning, estate planning, insurance, and more from an experienced and trusted investment advisory firm. Take advantage of a complimentary wealth checkup with a planner who puts your needs first. There's no sales pressure and no obligation, just trusted guidance to help get your investment goals back into focus. When it comes to your financial well-being, you can count on the top-rated independent financial advisory firm in the nation. Visit Edelman Financial Engines at efewealthplanners.com. That's efewealthplanners.com. Barron's rating awarded annually each September 2018 through 2022. Compensation paid for distribution of rating.
Hey, John here for Connecticut Water. I've got you covered this holiday season, right? So, let's just say, for example, you have a Connecticut system, but it's a little bit outdated. Save big money right now and go with the latest and the greatest that Connecticut has to offer just for you. Do that this holiday season, too. I'm telling you, the gift of water is fantastic. You can look at the Premier Series of water softener, the K5 in-home drinking water station as well. Look at that. If you don't have a Connecticut system, great deals on you finally having the best water in your home with my friends from Connecticut. Joe and John, shout out to them today. Northeast side Castleton, south side US 31 and Southport Road. The Connecticut Water app. Download that to your smartphone or device today or online, ConnecticutWindy.com.
Remember when you were in your prime and you could work and play hard on a daily basis? Guys, it's time to get that magic back. If you're ready to feel great again, go see Affinity. Affinity Whole Health is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. When you start with Affinity, you'll see a jump in your energy, mental focus, and drive. Get started for free at feelgreatindy.com. Then the full hormonal blood panel and medical consult is just $99. Go to feelgreatindy.com today.
Hey, John, for Andy Moore, Buick GMC, that's 131st State Road 37. It's in Fishers. My man, Eric Wilson, is the absolute best. If you're thinking about this holiday season, getting into a new ride, one-stop shopping for you. I'm going to tell you, the inventory is right there, including what I'm driving around. The GMC Acadia Elevation Package is awesome. Get that. Great deal. Service after the sale is the best. It's like when your grandparents used to go to the same place over and over because they trusted who they were dealing with. That's how you feel with Indiana's best. Andy Moore, Buick GMC. Tell Eric Wilson that I sent you today, 131st and State Road 37 in Fishers.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, the best in plumbing, Lance and his local team with L.D. Smith Plumbing today. Telling you, I had no idea. And I actually talked to Lance today. I said, I had no idea you guys would fix loose connections with a gas line going into my house. They did that. Man, I'm telling you, well, Kevin and the gang, and I got to take over there, too. I have their gas sniffer, which I thought's a funny way to describe a gas sniffer. they're the best. They not only can take care of you with that in your home, but the best in plumbing and especially emergencies. 317-927-7186. And that's Lance and his local team online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
O'Reilly.
Don't risk getting stranded with a bad battery. Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the best battery for your vehicle and your budget. Don't wait until your battery is dead. Get it tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 15 coming at you from Coach's Tavern. 4 o'clock, we give our picks Week 15 of the NFL with our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, and the owner of Coach's Tavern, Tommy S. Free samples and more going down Coach's Tavern downtown with Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, this is different. It's Saturday. On Saturday, the Colts play the Vikings in Minnesota Saturday. Matt Taylor has the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for the Colts. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's #1 for new country. I got some famous friends. Long neck, high strong beard, never broke my. Nobody plays more new country. Till you can. 97.1 Hank FM.
The Ride with JMV.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, talentless, and I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Thank you very much, sir.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. We're live downtown. Coach's Tavern. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 15. We also are doing a tavern tour stop while you're here. We would love to see you down here. Our locks and shots coming up at the top of the hour. Mike Chappell on the 5 o'clock hour. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, you hear him right there. He is the country music artist and friend of this show, Clayton Anderson. Live local, late breaking in Indianapolis today. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm feeling real good. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, just rolling through it, trying to see that big old Bass Pro Shop. Keep my eyes peeled as we're rolling through, you know.
I do want to tell you this. My man Tommy Sutton's here, and said he was in South Carolina last weekend and saw you somewhere doing something. So I'm filled in here. Fill us in.
We got all banged up. We've been doing this 10-roof tour, and it's been taking us all over the place. But I tell you what, we put a hurting on old Myrtle Beach. in the all season, we still got after it.
Boy, we sure did, didn't we? What's up, CA?
Oh, not much. I tell you what, I wish I was in there right now with you guys, having some cold ones and eating some of them tater skins I like so much in there. I'm telling you what,
tater skins.
So, did you? Hey, Clayton, did you flip Dirty Myrtle upside down over the weekend? Did you?
Oh, we sure did. It got a little dirty. I mean, they call it the Dirty Myrtle for a reason. Even in the dead season, it still got a little dirty. But it was it's a dang fun time. It's just I drank too many. I was a little jet lag coming back from Germany over there trying to be a tourist. But
wait.
He was hurting on. You were hurting, CA, when you were warming up. I'm like, man, this dude better rally.
They let somebody from Lawrence County go to Europe.
Yeah, I don't know how, man. They double checked me 3 times at the dang passport stop. I don't know how I got in.
Yeah, they don't let me from Greene County go to Lagodi, much less Europe.
Well, they get nervous down there in Lagodi. I always drive pretty quick going through there, going to Santa Claus Land. You know, you got to make sure you don't get pulled over there when you come up that hill, coming out of Shoals. Yeah.
They will, and it's probably, it used to be back in the day, Jay Cutler's dad, I think, was the guy pulling everybody over down there.
Oh, yeah, that's why I hate that Jay Cutler. He's the only guy from Indiana I've never liked.
Is he really? I've not known you never to like somebody from the state of Indiana.
He's the only one, and I hate him. I truly just dislike him. I can't. I've been around him so much in Nashville, I just can't. There's nothing about the guy I like. It hurts my heart, but I just can't stand him.
All right, my brother, what do you got going on this weekend?
Well, last night hanging out with IU legend Lincoln Jones over there at before the Pacers game, which was an incredible win for the Pacers last night. But man, I tell you what, I'm fired up for IU basketball again, and we're out here in Kansas City on Saturday night. So I figured out a way. I snuck me some tickets from some rich buddies of mine. They threw me a bone, and so we're going to go over to Lawrence, Kansas, watch the Hoosiers on Saturday afternoon, and then party ourselves. I'm hoping that we can have a big victory celebration at Tin Roof in Kansas City for anybody that's going out to Kansas to watch the game.
That's outstanding right there. I want to double back to Lyndon Jones. Lyndon Jones is one of my all-time favorite dudes right there.
Oh, he honestly, he told me I was having so much fun talking to him last night, hearing some Coach Knight stories I'd never heard, and I remember watching him. He was always one of my aunt's favorite players. He played hard, and she always loved how he played. He was such a nice guy. It was a thrill to get a meeting last night.
He was always so steady. I mean, everything he did, he was just steady, and you could count on him. He's one of my favorites of all time down there.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about him is that, Marion put it to Bedford North Lawrence a few times there in the late 80s there before Damon got his. But, my gosh, they had some good teams up there, though. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Purple Rain, basically, 85, 86, and 87 right there. I don't know how you were going to beat that. When they started with, LaFon Bowens and Jay Teagle, and then you obviously had Edwards and Jones. You had the Persinger brothers and Derek Keys, who's also a friend of the show. That was a hell of a group back then. I remember playing them. I was playing for the Bedford Boys Club at the Marion Powell Club in Marion. I think it was the day before the blizzard of 78, and Derek Keys, as a second grader, tuned my ass up so bad I cried.
Did you really?
I was a second grader. I'm bawling. Yeah, I'm all messed up. I mean, my dad moved to Bedford. They brought his girlfriend up from Bedford. That's all. We had all that going on, and then Derek Keys was tuning me up. My poor little 8-year-old mind was scrambled, buddy.
Yeah, you couldn't handle that. That stuck with you too. Oh, I felt those.
I swear to God, Derek Keys dunked. I swear to God, he dunked on an 8-foot goal when we were in second grade.
Oh, that's when you know. That's when you know you're all right.
So you're in Kansas City. It's Clayton Anderson joining us now. He's in Kansas City coming up this weekend, and you're going to go watch IU in Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse on Saturday too, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm so fired up. I've always loved watching the games when Damon was there and playing against. I can't remember his name, Jacques Bond or something like that. They had some battles back in those early night days. So
Manning.
I like that.
Oh yeah, I hate Kansas. I do. I hate the Kansas Jayhawks more than any team, and I get sick of them. Like Scott Pollard and I have been in a fight. And of course, he'd whip my ass. We've been in a fight about that before. I stink and hate the Kansas Jayhawks. Always have and always will. Kevin Pritchard, the Pacers team president, is a Kansas Jayhawk, and they won them back in 1988. I've always hated Kansas for whatever reason.
Yeah, I can't. I tell you what, I'm going to be decked out in all IU gear, so I hope they don't get too rowdy because I'll probably get a little mouthy. Let them know that they might have invented the game, but we made it famous.
Well, I certainly hope the Hoosiers show up more than they did in Vegas last Saturday, so they're going to need it. It's going to be rowdy in Allen Fieldhouse.
They delayed the start of that game, no doubt about that, against Arizona in Vegas. All right, CA, where are you playing? Just in case we get some Hoosier fans going to that game on Saturday, where are you playing?
We're playing the Tin Roof in Kansas City, and it's going to be one of our last wrapping up this Tin Roof tour for the year. It's actually the last show of the year for us, so I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll be celebrating an IU victory. But man, they're going to have to bring it. They're going to have to bring their A game. Bring all those.
Get Schifino back.
Yeah, it looks like he's practicing. I believe today is what I had read that they expected. I haven't seen any update on that, but there's no doubt they need that kid because he is far beyond his years as a freshman.
He's a difference maker in that offense.
He is a talented dude, no doubt about it. Hey, Clayton, it is great to hear from you, my friend. If you need anything else, you drop me a line.
Hey, I appreciate it. Be watching. I'm going to have my candy stripes on. I might run out there if we need a shooter. Can't play
Yeah,
much defense, but I still got that shooter. It's like putting training wheels. Like riding a bike, you just got to put your training wheels on and get out there and let her fly.
Just shut down all that rock chalk Jayhawk stuff, okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take an airplane bag so I puke in it if I get too sick of hearing it.
Hey, safe travels, buddy. We'll see you when you get back.
See you, man.
All right. See you guys.
It's Clayton Anderson. Last week, South Carolina. I think he was just in Louisiana here recently, I believe, and now on his way to Kansas City this weekend. I don't know how many Hoosier fans.
Arkansas, I think.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the campus of Arkansas right there, right? That's Fayetteville. That's where Arkansas is. So I don't know how many IU fans are going to be at Allen Fieldhouse, considering how small it is and how limited I'm sure the tickets are. But if you plan on going out there, I'll give you a great example. If you're my friend and you have all the money in the world, named Mike Ross. If you're Rossi, we used to call you Rossi, and sometimes we would call you Monchichi, but we call you Rossi most of the time. So if you're my man, Mike Ross, I know you already know this, make sure that you go check out Clayton in Kansas City. If you're heading out to that game, Mike Ross is a great guy. Great guy and big-time IU fan. Rossi. So anybody out there, if you're going to Kansas City, or check that, Lawrence, Kansas, just jet on over to Kansas City and check out Clayton on Saturday night. Quick break and we'll come back. Top of the hour, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 15 of the NFL. We also got coming up a little bit later on, Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. Jim Irsay made some comments today regarding the coaching search and mentioned not once but twice the college ranks. What do you think he means? That's a solid tease. We'll come back on what is a Thursday. It is a Tavern Tour Stop combined with Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's number one for new country. I got some famous friends. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
A surprise proposal under the stars. A diamond ring symbolizing your love. A promise to inspire, respect, and love one another. Visit Chain Company to create a treasure that will hold meaning forever. We design our engagement rings in-house, so any style you choose will be a unique creation. We know a ring comes to life when it's set with a center stone that speaks to you. Chain Company offers the largest selection of center stones, natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, as well as natural gemstones including rubies, sapphires, peach morganite, aquamarine, and amethyst. We sell our center stones loose, so you can compare stones side by side and select the one that's right for you, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. A jewelry consultant will work with you to help you maximize your budget. Our free lifetime warranty even covers the center stone. Make this the holiday you'll both treasure forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, John from PAI, it's WeGrowHairEddie.com, your real growing hair again. Phone call away. 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairEddie.com today.
Bowling, 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 keep them balls a-rolling. Bowling, bowling, bowling.
Royal Pin.
Make your plans now for a fun holiday party at any Royal Pin Entertainment Center. Treat your employees to a great time with bowling, appetizers from chips to heavy hors d'oeuvres, food packages from pizza to prime rib, and a wide range of party options from just bowling to laser tag, limitless VR, go-karts, arcade, and more. You can upgrade with adult beverages, craft beer, premium spirits, and frozen drinks. Want a custom party? Their sales team can make it happen. Reward your team for their hard work. Email events@royalpin.com or visit royalpin.com to book today.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
Hurry, space is filling up fast. That's royalpin.com.
Royal Pin. Bowling, bowling.
Royal Pin.
Gather near and bring the cheer this holiday season. Dazzle and delight the love of your life with a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds. Don't miss great prices on stunning diamond studs, tennis bracelets, gemstone rings, and the year's must-have look, gold jewelry for stacking and layering. Another reason to go to Hellsberg? Get a free Microsoft Surface Laptop Go with a purchase of $1,699 or more. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you today. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in store for details.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Join JMV at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Franklin next Monday, December 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. for a live broadcast, and register for a chance to win tickets to see the Colts take on the LA Chargers December 26th. Think you have the best sports trivia knowledge? Listen to Kevin and Query weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. and call into the pop quiz for your chance to win a signature Jiffy Lube oil service. And follow the Fan on social media to stay up to date on events, giveaways, and all things sports. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yep. Hey, everybody, we've all heard stories about friends and family with something really bad that happened. You're in an accident, there's a painful life-altering injury, huge medical bills, even wrongful death, all from someone else's fault. In fact, some of you might be dealing with that right now, and that's where the attorneys at Parr Ritchie Law Firm can help. Tony Patterson, Paul Cruz, and John McLaughlin lead a team with over 70 years of collective courtroom experience and millions of dollars in jury awards and settlements for the clients. Now, none of us can change the past. Just know that Tony, Paul, and John are on your side to help you and your family going forward. They're recognized by Super Lawyers and U.S. News and World Report as being among the leading injury lawyers in Indiana, so even if you're unsure you have a case, give Parr Ritchie a call. They'll listen and give you their free experienced legal opinion. Call 317-269-2509 or visit ParRinjury.com. That's P-A-R-R Injury.com.
A new season, a new QB, a new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, at the Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill for your chance at Chargers tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you Friday at the Chaparral Sports Bar. It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Catch another Bud Light Blue Friday broadcast with JMV from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill. Enter the football toss, and you could be the next fan to win a pair of tickets to see the Colts take on the Chargers.
The Chicago Bears take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday at noon on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries.
It's quite pungent. It stings the nostrils.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Downtown Coaches Tavern, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Coming up 4 o'clock with me, betting analyst Brent Hulverson. Tommy Sutton is in the house, too. We'll do that. Cam's the outside engineer inside the lounge via YouTube Live. I'm waving at you guys right now. I had no idea. So my friend Greg just sent me a text that said, hey, Allen Fieldhouse holds 16,000. I had no idea. I thought it held like 9. 16? How do you stuff 16,000 people in that little thing? Nah, IU, Kansas. I was trying to think the last time IU played at Kansas. Was that back in the 90s? Talk to Don Fisher about that a little bit more in depth coming up on tomorrow's show. But, man, listen, I like it. I would much rather them, play in Arizona or a Kansas. Now, obviously, what happened against Arizona, you get off to that slow start, you battle, you fight, hang in there a little bit, only to lose. But, yeah, I like watching these games. That's going to be a good one coming up on Saturday. We'll talk to Don Fisher about that coming up tomorrow. Our NFL Week 15 is officially underway. Coming up later on tonight, the Niners and the Seahawks at 8:15, which should be fun, full of fun. And then you got the weird set of games on Saturday. That 1 o'clock start with the Colts and the Vikings right here, 10 a.m. I'll get you started. Me and the Gorman and Bill Brooks with the Colts pregame huddle. We'll get you started right then. Something else, too, and I'll save a little bit of this for Mike Chappell coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. Jim Irsay at the owners' meetings asked about the coaching search and had mentioned a couple of different times the collegiate coaching ranks. What do you think he means about that, if anything whatsoever? Jim Harbaugh, interest there. Todd Clausen of WRTV6 is leaving the building right here. He needs to give us some blue skies and some sunshine one of these days here. But thank you. Is it close? Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Seriously, though, what do you think he means by that, if anything? We'll dive into that with Mike Chappell coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. But coming up next, we're going to do our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots. If I can read this little print right here, I'm going to try my damnedest. Do I have a magnifying glass here? Somebody's old. I'm going to play canasta like some old woman here and go, wait a minute. I don't know if I can read that or not. But our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson's ready. Tommy S. is going to be ready as well. Our picks for Week 15 that starts with the Niners and the Seahawks coming up later on tonight. We'll dive into that Irsay storyline with Mike Chappell and the other stuff going on in preparation for that matchup in Minneapolis for the Colts coming up on Saturday afternoon as well. Pacers beat the Warriors yesterday. We can get back into that as well. College hoop and more at 239-1070. Quick break. Back with you next. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
It's Kevin and Query.
Matt Miller, ESPN.com, draft analyst.
The total number of quarterbacks that will go off the board that you can build around.
I think top 5 is safe because there are really 3 quarterbacks, Bryce Young at Alabama, C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, and Will Levis from Kentucky. After that, there's a drop-off to Anthony Richardson from Florida, who could be the next Josh Allen, or he could be out of the league in 2 years.
Kevin and Query.
Weekday mornings at 7.
On 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
This is going to sound really good with my Barry White-esque voice going on. If you fellas are looking for something that is spectacular, you're looking for something new and different for her this holiday season, I got it for you via pajamagram.com. Naturally nude pajamas from pajamagram.com. Not only will she love it, not only will she love the gesture, but you will dig it as well, right? So you're also taking care of yourself while you're taking care of your significant other. Naturally nude pajamas from Pajamagram at pajamagram.com right now. And here's what is awesome about this, and I know that you're going to love this, right? So here's what you're going to do. If you fire that thing up and get you a set of naturally nude pajamas right now, Pajamagram will include a free matching naturally nude nightie. It's $75 in savings. You get absolutely free. So here it is. This is the original idea, and in fact, the most original this holiday season with Pajamagram.com. The naturally nude pajamas, and by the way, Pajamagram does offer wrapping absolutely free, again, for the holiday season. That's Pajamagram.com today. Tell them JMV sent you, Pajamagram.com.
This holiday season, DraftKings Sportsbook app is giving Indiana Pacers fans a special gift. Everyone can get a no-sweat bet on every Pacers game this December. Head to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in under the promos tab, and place an eligible bet of your choice on a Pacers game. If it doesn't hit, you'll get your money back in a free bet. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook app is the place to go to bet on the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers can sign up with a promo code 1075FAN and get a no-sweat bet on every Pacers game this December. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and opt in today to receive this limited-time offer only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the Indiana Pacers. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only. Max reward limits apply. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing bet. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Got a great idea for you. This time of year, Forum Credit Union is going to give you a way to simplify things with the unlimited cash back credit card from Forum Credit Union, so there's no more redeeming points or cap rewards. Forum's card pays you unlimited cash for every purchase every month automatically, plus make secure mobile payments, contactless purchases, and more. This card is fantastic this time of year. So head on out to Forum Credit Union, buy a branch location, tell them that I sent you, and get with this. Or let's just say right now, you want all the information you need on the Forum Credit Union Unlimited Cashback Credit Card, log on at forumcu.com.
Don't sweat those extra guests. Get a Twin Peaks Party Pack. They're family-sized meals, complete with an entree, choice of side, house salad, and buttered rolls for $4. It's the perfect way to enjoy Twin Peaks from home. Order online for pickup or get it delivered straight to you. And skip the drama and get the perfect gift for everyone on your list. A gift card to Twin Peaks. You don't even have to leave your couch. Just head over to bit.ly/Twin Peaks Gift to grab as many as you need and send them right to your fans' inboxes. Happy shopping.
Hey, it's JMV for the absolute best in plumbing. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. 317-284-9526. Let's talk about 83 of free involving any drain in your home. Means LD Smith is going to come out, make sure your drains are clog free for $83 or the visit is free. That's 83 of free at 317-284-9526. The best in plumbing, Lance and his local team online, ldsmithplumbing.com.
Be one with the Force on December 18th for Star Wars Night, when the Indiana Pacers take on the New York Knicks. Head to pacers.com/Star Wars for an exclusive ticket promotion, including a game night ticket, a limited edition Pacers plus Star Wars co-branded shirt, a food voucher including a hot dog, bag of chips, and small Pepsi starting at just $20. Star Wars Night this Sunday for Pacers versus Knicks. Tickets at pacers.com/Star Wars.
Trust our family to take care of your family. Call us today for our family maintenance plan at 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX Indianapolis. The Colts head north to take on the first-place Minnesota Vikings. The coverage starts Saturday morning at 10 on 97.1 Hank FM.
The Ride with JMV.
Well, you're going to have to say that. You're going to have to speak up because I can't hear you.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Coach's Tavern inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Let's wave at everybody there. This is over-the-counter medicine I'm taking right here. It says it's good for high blood pressure. I don't know if I have high blood pressure or not. Just in case. If somebody knows CPR in here, just let me know, just in case that too. Just in case something happens. Tommy, yes?
You're pretty healthy, aren't you?
I feel really healthy, yeah. I mean, all this is doing is like hanging around my head right now and affecting my voice. Otherwise, I feel fine. By the way, Kyle Udemark is out today. Eddie Garrison doing double duty, and a shout-out to Eddie for doing that. Kyle has the stomach flu, a.k.a. the craps, going on right now. Hopefully, Kyle can be back coming up tomorrow. But, Eddie, thank you very much for doing what you're doing back there in studio. Cam is the on-site engineer. Pacers over the Warriors last night. They're in Cleveland for a matchup. First time this year. Donovan Mitchell and company over with the Cavaliers coming up tomorrow night. And then I believe on Sunday at 5 o'clock. Is it Sunday, 5 o'clock? They get the Knicks, too. So
Star Wars night.
Yeah, Star Wars night. Favorite Star Wars character? Go.
Yoda.
Oh, see? I freaking hate Yoda.
Why? He protected the Wookiee clan. He's the baddest guy on Star Wars. Come on,
every time Empire Strikes Back, they go to Yoda, and they went to the Dagobah system. I have to turn it off. I'm so bored.
Oh, my goodness.
Yoda is boring. So I'm a Boba Fett guy.
Boba Fett, that's my guy, too.
I love Mandalorian. Have you watched that series?
I have not.
I have not either.
I haven't watched it.
So.
I didn't watch anything after Boba Fett got devoured by that thing in the desert and Return of the Jedi. I'm not watching anymore.
He's still alive.
I hated Ewoks, too. Ewoks sucked.
Oh, he's still alive. You know that, right?
I like that guy, that bald guy named, by the way, the bald guy, Lobot, could have gone to PAI, WeGrowHair80.com. Because that was unfair, man. You got Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian looking all good with his hair, and then poor Lobot thinking his thoughts.
Actually, Boba Fett killed him and took over Jabba's palace.
I didn't know that.
The Book of Boba Fett. Watch that.
Wow. I didn't know any of that.
Sorry, I just spoiled it for everybody.
That's all right. I haven't seen it. So it's Star Wars night, or afternoon, I guess, in this case. So, yeah, good. Pacers a winner last night over the Warriors. Again, that's Tom Sutton, who's the owner of Coach's Tavern. Our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, is also here for our Week 15 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Any loose ends we want to grasp, connect before we start?
Well, I mean, this week you have 0 bye weeks, right? It's all the bye weeks are gone now. Now you're getting everybody to play. And how great is this? We got football tonight. We got football Saturday. We got football Sunday. We got football Monday. It's an NFL season right here. It's ready to go.
I do love the seven because there's games like 3-4 nights a week.
Absolutely. So plus we got college, some college action coming in. We got all the sports are playing right now.
I forget to mention that IU is playing at Kansas on Saturday. We're going to have that here too.
Well, that's right.
We're going to have that on
Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big Saturday.
Huge Saturday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Big day right there.
Hoosiers in action, Purdue in action, Colts in action, Vikings in action.
The number 1 ranked Purdue Purdue Boilermakers.
How about that? Shout out to Purdue fans. Congratulations as IU fan. You guys are good. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
Matt Painter was on the show yesterday. Podcast at 1075thefan.com. Spectacular per usual. They get Davidson coming over here right across the street here on Saturday evening. Part of that inaugural Indy Classic with Illinois State and Ball State being on the other side.
Every time I see, what's his name? Who's that stud? The tall kid for Purdue.
Zach Edey.
Thank you, Edey. I was going to say Ivy, but he's gone. I just think of Hulk smash when I see him because he just smashes the boards. He smashes the rim.
He gets on it. There's no doubt about that. All right, hey, Eddie, you got the music ready? You got the band queued up and ready?
There we go.
Here it is. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 15 of the NFL, which starts coming up later on tonight. This should actually be a decent game, right? San Francisco's playing so well, even with Brock Purdy as the quarterback. They just magically do whatever they need to do at the quarterback position to sustain winning. It has to make Colts fans incredibly jealous. Defense is playing well right now. Lay the 3.5 on the road in Seattle and take the 49ers tonight, Brent Hulverson.
So this game was, look at San Francisco's quarterbacks, right? You got, the two big guys are out. Now Purdy comes in, and Purdy's got, what's this oblique thing these days, right? It's a rib issue, but it's an oblique issue. From what Nally Schefter, our good friend Ryan Nally, he reported before the true Adam Schefter did that Purdy is playing tonight. So I needed to see that because Josh.
Well, he better be because they don't have anybody else.
Yeah, who's I forget who the quarter or the backup is.
I thought it was Deebo Samuel. He's out.
Yeah, well, he would have been.
They win. And, it seems like it's just a different quarterback all the time for them.
Well, that
because of injuries.
That defense is downright scary.
Nico Ryans is a good defensive coordinator.
Josh Johnson is the backup.
Who used to be here and has been with about 1,000 teams.
1,000 teams. He has been all around the world and played a lot of football. So hopefully we don't have to see him. But I think this San Francisco defense, I think they're going to give the Seahawks some problems. I really do. And San Francisco, again, I think tonight, Deebo Samuel's out, right? So you're going to see a lot of George Kittle. Kittle tonight. I think McCaffrey is going to be your play. A couple big McCaffrey's over 76.5 rush yards. I love it. It's a good prop.
Brandon Ayuk's been good.
Ayuk's been good.
All season long. Outside of maybe the first couple of weeks, man, he's really caught a groove.
He's going to draw that double coverage, so I think that's going to open up the game a little bit for some receiving from McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's going to be your key in this game. I really I like it as well. I would buy the half point again. It's 3.5 what's showing right now, but buy that half point, call it 3. I'll take San Francisco on the road, John.
What do you got, Tommy S?
I'm rolling with you guys. Take those Niners because I don't think anybody's playing better in the NFC other than the Philadelphia Eagles. The Niners look like the team that they do. Make it too. They do. Look legit, so I'm taking the Niners.
That defense will show up anywhere, too, by the way, fellas. There's no doubt about that. All right, we'll save the Colts and the Vikings for the final selections in Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots Week 15. Let's go to Baltimore and the Cleveland Browns. No Lamar Jackson coming up this weekend, so not a big surprise, I guess. How about the Browns? 3-point favorites at home. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3 and take the Browns at home. Brent Hulverson, what do you got?
Yeah, I kind of like that. You're starting to see Deshaun Watson. The first week he struggled, right? He's been off for like 700 days or whatever. Struggled a little bit. Week 2, he came back. Looked pretty decent last week, right? I think we're going to see a little bit of more Deshaun Watson. Baltimore's got a good defense, but old Nick Chubb, man. Nick Chubb he's a workhorse. He's been really pumping through. I think you're going to see a lot of Nick Chubb. Deshaun Watson's going to do some action. I'll take the Cleveland Brownies. Lay the 3 at home.
Tommy.
Again, we're in agreement, guys. I'm taking the skid marks.
And I'm telling you, you talk about getting down the field. Nobody has done it through the pass like Tua and the Dolphins. Whether we're talking Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, it has worked for them. The big play this season. The weather is going to be a factor in Buffalo. Make no mistake, coming up on Saturday night. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 7. The Bills established as 7-point favorites and take the Bills at home. They're a little bit sketchy at times, too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to take the Bills and lay a big number, I think, for this game. 7 points at home.
It really is, and I think the big key there, like you mentioned, is going to be that weather, right? What is the weather going to do? Tua and the Dolphins looked absolutely horrible last week. Usually you're going to see a little bit of bounce back, but if it's all cold up there, those Miami boys are going to be a little chilly playing in that snow. 7 points, so Buffalo has been up and down. They started off the season, they looked great. They were covering machine, and then as of late, they've not really been there. They're starting to get a little groove back. But Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, he can run the ball, he can throw the ball. I think he's the all-around quarterback. Him and Patrick Mahomes, top 2 in the NFL. This 7 is interesting. I'm really torn on this game. But you know what? I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to get the cover here. I think Buffalo wins the game. I'm going to take Miami to cover.
What do you got, Tommy?
What's Buffalo won now? 4 straight, I think it is, or 3 straight? Anyway, ever since my boy Justin Jefferson went in there and made the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life, that one-handed.
Now, we'll talk about him a little bit more.
But anyway, Buffalo's they're playing a lot better, and like you said, it's going to be cold. I'm going to roll with the Bills.
All right, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Let's go Atlanta and New Orleans, the Desmond Ritter Bowl right there. And look on the other side under center. Andy Dalton, 2,252 yards and 15 TDs. Although it's been an ugly offensive season in New Orleans, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 4 and take the Saints. This is sketchy at best, but I'm going to take them at home coming up on Sunday. Brent Hulverson, go ahead.
Pretty sketchy-looking game, right? The 4-9 Saints at home against the 5-8 Falcons. Falcons starting rookie Desmond Ritter.
Yep.
So he's going to come into the game. You know, these Saints, they've really kind of stuck around and they've hung in there and they've covered some games. They're going at home. They're going against the rookie quarterback here. I'm with you, John. I'm going to lay the 4. Give me New Orleans at home.
Desmond Ritter ran Marcus Mariota out of a job and out of the building.
Absolutely right.
What you got, Tommy S?
Yeah, rookie quarterback making his first start. No Kyle Pitts for him to throw to. Like you said, New Orleans, they've kind of hung around this year. I mean, they're not as bad as their record, I don't think. They're at home. It's going to be loud down there in the Superdome. I'll roll with the Saints and lay that 4.
What in this world of Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots is going on with Detroit right now? Detroit's looking pretty good. Detroit looked really good against Tommy S.'s team. There's no doubt about that. Throwing the football, now making everybody wonder if Jared Goff should be the guy moving forward. Alas, they are 1-point favorites this weekend on Sunday on the road against the Jets. I'm going to go ahead and take that point, and I'm going to take those Fighting Dan Campbells coming up in Jersey on Sunday. I dig it. What do you got, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've talked the Lions last year. They're a covering machine, really. I mean, they're 9-4 against the spread this year. And, you know, the last 2 games, they've looked great. They're putting up some points. In New York, though, that Jets defense is pretty tough. Robert Saleh, I like him, man. He's got a lot of energy. I did see where old boy's going to be backup.
Zach Wilson's the backup.
Thank you. Yep. He moved up from 3rd place to 2nd.
Yeah, a little bit of drama going. That's never going to work again. That is going to be somebody that's going to have to be dealt. That's never going to work.
He's damaged.
Yeah. He's damaged good. Mike White, he's tough. He's a fighter, man. He went out last week, came right back in the game. He gives him a little spark. Oh God, he got folded like a chair.
Yes,
it was crazy, man. It was unreal. This game's pretty wild, though. You know, I'm kind of like these Lions quite a bit, but these Jets are sneaky. They're 8-5 against the spread. They're at home. I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets. I'm going to lay the 1 and give me the New York Jets. Jets.
That is Tommy S.
Jets. Jets. I think they're at home. I think they're going to win. If they're at Detroit, I take Detroit, but I ain't taking nothing away from Detroit, but I like the Jets at home. Their defense is tough.
All right. Yeah, you pointed that out, too. I'll double back to that right here.
Yeah, we skipped Philly.
I think I need glasses, don't I?
Well, there's some small print here, John. We're working with some small print.
I feel like, hey, what's that? I need a magnifying glass, I think, right here. Come on, brother. It's all good. All right. How about the 1 o'clock start with the Eagles and the Bears coming up on Sunday? The Eagles established as 9-point favorites. I get every single bit of that. I will lay that and take Nick Sirianni's squad, Soldier Field on Sunday. Brent Hulverson.
Yeah, you know, the Bears are 3-10. They're kind of fighting for a draft position, I think, right now, right? Justin Fields, he was sick all week. I did see he went back to practice today, so he will be playing.
Yeah.
But Philadelphia, they look great. I mean, they really, truly do. They are the team out of the NFC to beat. They're 12-1. They've kind of been striking on all cylinders. 9's a big number on the road. I don't like to lay that number on the road, but I'm going to because Philly looks good. Give me the Eagles fly high.
Tommy Sutton.
You know, that's a big number, 9 on the road. I know the Eagles are playing well. They absolutely demolished the Giants last weekend in the Meadowlands. Bears struggling. Justin Fields has been playing well, though. I mean, he finally figured out he's got an arm he can use, which is scary for Packer fans and Vikings fans.
That's right.
I'm going to take Chicago. I think Eagles get the win, but I'm going to take that 9 points. Though.
Let me get this straight here, guys. This 1 o'clock start in Charlotte on Sunday. The Steelers and the Panthers. The Panthers still firmly have something to play for. They've only fired their coach. Got a guy on an interim basis. They've been playing musical chairs at quarterback, and there they are. Yeah, I guess both South divisions are woeful in this case. In this case, it's the NFC South. At 5-8, there are the Panthers and the Steelers at 1 o'clock. Panthers 3-point favorites. Lay the 3 because they've got something to play for right here. Give them a chance to see what happens in Carolina. Take the Panthers there.
Yeah, surprising. They're 5-8. So are the Steelers. I mean, they're they're just kind of an ugly game, right? I love the under in this game. This might be a 6-3 game, something along those lines. I don't know. I bet. Hey, lay a little. Here's a long shot for you, Tommy. Little $5 bet. No touchdown scored in the game. It'll pay you $500. All right.
Just it's actually not a bad bet. Because I think, is Trubisky starting again? Is Pickett still out with concussions? Or?
They've not officially announced that yet. I believe Pickett's going to be playing those from what I heard.
Anyway, yeah, ugly game, but like you guys said, Carolina, I mean, they're still in play for the NFC South, and just Tampa Bay is so terrible. I'm liking Carolina.
I'm going to join you guys. I'm going to take Carolina as well. Lay the 3.
How about what the Jaguars did last weekend, too? I don't know if it was more about the Titans, and this is what should really embarrass Colts fans. The Titans are doing everything in their power to keep teams in it. And in a season where the Colts are supposed to be in it, they could not be any further out of it right now. That to me is the most embarrassing aspect of this Colts season. Jacksonville laying the wood to the Titans last week. Titans having all sorts of issues, whether it's injuries catching up with them, I should say, or what have you. But how about Jacksonville at home? They are 4-point underdogs at home to the Dallas Cowboys. You know, as much as Jacksonville looked good last week, I'm going to go ahead and lay that 4 and take the Cowboys on the road because they're a team that struggled, don't get me wrong, last week to get a win. I mean, it looked ugly there for a while, but they did get it. That's kind of a signature game of the season to look back on. Could have lost that. They didn't. And to go ahead and lay the 4, take the Cowboys on the road, Brent.
Yeah, that was ugly. I mean, they were a big favorite last week. They won it the very last.
17, wasn't it?
17. Yeah. They won it in the last, minute and a half of the game, I believe it was, somewhere around there. Jacksonville's sitting at, 5-8, I believe, and they're going to be, they're looking pretty good, but I just think Dallas has too much firepower. I really do. Dak Prescott, and you got Tony Pollard has been the one that, for me, that just kind of blown me away. Yeah. You got Zeke. Everybody knows Zeke, right? But he's their lightning in their bottle, right? Give him the ball. Get him in there. He's scoring touchdowns a game. I'm going to take Dallas. I'll lay the 4 on the road with you, John.
What do you got, Tommy?
Give you guys some fantasy advice. Don't ever draft Ezekiel Elliott on your fantasy team. That guy's been so disappointing.
Yeah.
Because Tony Pollard's better.
Yeah, he really is.
I should have known better, but anyway. I can't figure Dallas out. They go into Minnesota, beat the brakes off the Vikings 40-3, and then they barely beat Houston. Lovie Smith, come on, guys.
Yeah, no, man.
By the way, the Cowboys with former Colts wide receiver T.Y.
That's pretty wild.
Nice point.
Something else to look forward to. I guess if he gets any playing time or any series reps, any targets.
Pussycats. Give me those points.
I got you.
All right.
Man, this is a big number. So minus 14 for the Chiefs on the road in Houston. I think you got to go ahead and bury that. I think you got to take it. I don't like to take numbers this big, but Houston is just awful. I know that Houston hung with Dallas last week. Don't get me wrong, but just so bad. I'm going to go ahead and bury that 14. I'm going to take the Chiefs on the road, and I'll regret it, but I'm going to take it right now.
Pierce is out, running back for Houston. He's the lone bright spot of Houston's offense, right? He's not in it. Yep. 14's a big number.
Well, Zach's telling me that they covered. There was a 17 last week, was it, with Dallas? Yeah. So Zach said, "Oh, wait a minute, they covered last week."
Houston covered.
Yes, Houston covered.
Yeah. They should have won the game.
Yeah,
which is wild.
So I have failed thinking here. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, here's the thing, right? 14 points. You got Kansas City, who's one of the best in the league. They played them down to their opponents a lot, though. This is a big home dog here. Hey, watching Houston, they played their hearts out against Dallas. Should have won that game in Dallas. I'm going to take those 14 points. Not sexy. Don't love it.
See?
I'm going to take Houston in 14.
All right, I'm going to be the only one doing this crap then. I can see that coming. What do you got, Tommy?
Yeah, you're right, JMV, because look at Kansas City last week. Go out to Denver. They gave 27 points up to that crummy offense. Come on now, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
28-0 lead, and they almost blew it. I'll take Houston because they're still playing. Well, Lovie Smith has not lost that team yet. So.
Kansas City's 4-8-1 against the spread, so everybody's favorite. They're a betting favorite, right? Like people just see Kansas City and they're going to put money on them.
Patrick Mahomes.
And again, hey, he's all that. But again, they're going to play they play down on their opponent a little bit. So I think 14's a lot.
I'll take that home dog.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, what a mess with the Cardinals and the Broncos coming up on Sunday too. This is like one of those games where you're thinking it's going to be a low score I know right now Denver is the 3-point favorite. I guess just because they're at home, and that really makes no difference. We know Kyler Murray, his situation. We know Russell Wilson, his situation. Lay the 3, take Denver at home on Sunday, Brent.
Hey, the reason you can bet on games is they're right here, right? Why else would you watch this ugly game? You got a 3 and what were the Broncos? 3-10, and you got a 4-9 Arizona team. Kyler Murray goes out in the third play last week.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy. Yeah, torn ACL. Colt McCoy comes in. He looked whatever, but they just don't have it. They don't have any buzz to him. And like you just mentioned, Denver they looked decent last week, right? They looked decent.
Best offensive performance of the year.
It really was. It really was. So I think, again, if anything, in Denver, mile high, against Colt McCoy, they're just banged up. I mean, Connor's a stud if they keep getting him the ball. But that Denver defense is pretty defense. I think they're going to, again, talk about another $5 bet to win 500. Bet no touchdowns scored in this game. That might be onto something there. But I'm going to take.
I don't know if I do that.
I'm going to take Denver Broncos, lay the 3 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos too. I mean, I know this is one of those games where you just don't want to watch.
Yeah,
you just don't want to watch it. Nobody's gonna watch it outside of Cleveland or outside of Denver and Arizona. But I'll take Denver.
Unless you got a little money on it, Tommy, you can kind of keep an eye on it. You know?
Yeah, this is a game I'm not gonna bet on. Too many X factors.
Yeah, I hear you.
So we're talking McDaniel. We're talking Belichick. 4:05 on Fox coming up on Sunday afternoon. I guess you've got some drama there to go to. I don't know about either side, but obviously New England's in position for a postseason berth right now in the AFC. We give them credit for hanging in there with that. As of right now, I believe Vegas has been installed as a 1-point favorite. I'm going to take that point. I'm going to take the Patriots on the road.
I just don't. I mean, again, you're right. The Patriots are in it. They're hard to watch. I don't like I don't like anything about them. Vegas, though, they've been a disappointment all year. They got beat by the Rams in that Baker Mayfield comeback last week. So I'm gonna take Vegas. I'm gonna take Vegas here. I'll lay the 1. Give me the Raiders.
What you got, Tommy?
Hey, did the Patriots fly back to New England from Arizona and back out to Vegas? I wonder.
I thought they stayed out.
I thought they stayed out there too.
Good.
Yeah.
So that means I'm taking the Patriots. The Raiders. I mean, who knows what's going on with those guys? I mean, Devontae Adams is still having a great year.
Oh yeah.
But they just can't. They can't close the deal. So I'll take that 1 point and take the Patriots.
I bet the Patriots been out there gambling all week though. They might be might be hitting some good spirits out there and going to come in a little rusty. I don't know.
All right, of course, the Colts have the Vikings this weekend. Have the Chargers after that. The Chargers at home, Southern California.
Monday Night Football.
3-point favorites versus the Tennessee Titans. We have documented the fact the Titans are absolutely going in reverse right now. I don't think they're going to find a groove this weekend, so I'm going to go ahead and bury the 3. I'm going to take the Chargers at home against, as of right now, a very disappointing down-the-stretch Titans team. Brent Hulverson.
Yeah, the Chargers looked great last week against Miami Dolphins, right? They won the game 23-17. They really kind of shut Tua down. I think you're going to see a little bit more of that. I mean, you're right. Tennessee's kind of going backwards. They still got number 22, though. Derrick Henry, he's a machine. They're going to feed him the ball, but I think Chargers are going to kind of hone in on that. They're out without Trey Burks as well.
Yeah.
And he's been a stud rookie.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Chargers here. I'll lay the 3 with you, John.
Makes sense. What do you got, Tommy?
Yeah, Chargers have been playing a little bit better. They've been disappointing this year, obviously. A lot of injuries out there. But like you said, John, Tennessee is full reverse mode right now. They're just fading down the stretch. So I'll take the Chargers. Play that 3.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna's will tequila shots. Week 15 of the NFL. Bengals 3.5-point favorites on the road. Speaking of disappointing, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lay the 3.5. Take Burrow and the Bengals on the road. Brent.
Number 1 team in the NFL against the spread, the Cincinnati Bengals, are 10-3 against that number. I think we've all seen Tampa Bay. I mean, they come back and win games in the very last minute when they shouldn't. A couple Mondays ago, Brady led the 14 points in 3 minutes, whatever that was. I don't see that here. I think the Bengals got too much firepower. Now, I don't know. I think Higgins is he questionable still?
Higgins and Boyd, I think.
Boyd is out. Higgins is questionable. That's a big key right there. Higgins plays, I think they're going to have it because then you got Chase and then you got Higgins. I mean, it's a pretty powerful 1-2 punch. And then Sam Perrine. Oh, he'd been looking good, right? He's kind of filled in for Mixon, but now he's got into the mix a little bit too. So Mixon is back. Give me Cincinnati. I'll lay the 3.5 by the half point, though. Give me the Bengals on the road.
Tampa's at home, and I just have a hard time betting against Brady. I really do. Cincinnati is good, don't get me wrong. I think they're the better team, but I think Tampa, they're still playing. They're still fighting for a playoff spot. Tom doesn't want to go out, not make the playoffs this year, and fade in the sunset. I'm gonna take those 3.5 points. Take those Buccaneers.
8:20 on Sunday Night Football as the Giants and the Commanders with the Hennekes versus the Joneses right there. By the way, too, with Daniel Jones' stat line, 25, 34, 12 TDs this season. Of course, Terry McLaurin has been pretty good most of the time, especially considering the quarterback play and the offensive play for the Commanders with nearly 1,000 yards receiving and 3 TDs. Probably would like to have more than that. But be that as it may, got 2 teams that are in the thick of it right now. I'm going to go ahead and do this on Sunday Night Football. I'll lay the 4.5 and take the Commanders, Brent Hulverson, at home.
I'm against you here, John, and here's the reason why. Yep. I mean, these teams always play each other so tight. It really, almost every game comes down to a field goal.
They tied a couple weeks ago.
They tied 2020, 2 weeks ago, right? That game was in New York. I think Washington wins this game. I truly do. I think it's by a field goal. So if I'm gonna get 4.5 points, that means I win by 1.5. Give me the Giants on the road as a 4.5 point dog.
Tommy.
I've been impressed with Washington this year. I think Heineke's the guy. I mean, Carson Wentz, he replaced him. They've been winning. Riverboat Ron looking good up there. So
Riverboat Ron.
I think I'm going to buy that 0.5 point. I'm going to go with the Redskins, as I call them still.
And Monday Night Football with the Rams and the Packers, fellas. Man, you're Packers. Man, those Rams. The defending champs and a team that everybody thought was going to be right there in the NFC and simply has not. 7-point favorites, the Packers at home. Man, that's a lot of points to me for that Packer team, but I'll lay it. I'll take the Packers at home Monday night, Brent.
Yeah, again, Baker Mayfield, the resurgence, right? He had 2 days to learn the script. He goes in, makes that miraculous comeback, kind of scripted exactly like that Tampa game.
I wonder if it's going to happen that way on Monday night.
I wonder if it is. I don't think it is, John. I think we're, Packers still have a strong chance, right? There's a chance that they can make the playoffs, and I need to see that Jets. I need to see Jets beat Detroit. Packers can kind of maneuver in if they win out. As Aaron Rodgers says, relax. He's kind of finding the groove with Christian.
Get that 7th seed and see the Vikings in the first round. You never know.
Well, you never know, man.
I don't know if you want that.
I'd love that, actually, Tommy. Got some revenge to do, my friend. But no, hey, Christian Watson, he looks great. He's got 8 touchdowns in 5 games. He's become the guy. We talked earlier, Romeo Doubs is back. So he's going to have some firepower back there. And he's still got that rushing game. Aaron Jones been banged up a little bit. He's going to play. But I tell you what, 7's a big number. But you're going to Lambeau Field, and I think they got a little bit of swagger, and they haven't had it all year. They looked horrible. I'll lay the 7. Go, Pack, go.
What do you got there, Tommy S.?
I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement with everything Albie said. The Rams are a disaster. I mean, I think Stafford might be done for the year.
Yeah.
He's out. Cup's done for the year. I mean,
Cup's done for the year. I mean, they're just thinking right now, what a disappointing season for the Rams. Super Bowl champions.
But
chumps.
The chumps,
you would take it, right? Would you take it? I mean, they basically sold off the farm to get that Super Bowl title. I think most people would take it.
I would take one from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Give me this. Right. I just want one.
Right.
But anyway,
most people would take it.
Packers playing well. They're still playing for playoff spots. I'll take that 7 points. And Green Bay at home on a Monday night. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, baby.
The Rams are going to play well in the cold. So
I love it.
All right, final game of our Week 15 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. That matchup at 1 o'clock. Minneapolis coming up on Saturday, 10 a.m. The Colts pregame huddle begins with me, Bill Brooks, and the Gorman leading you up to countdown to kickoff, and then game time again, 1 o'clock with the Vikings and the Colts coming up. That is the first of 3 on Saturday. And, the Colts, I think, Tommy S., you're right about the Vikings defense being able to keep them hanging around. But the playmaking ability of Jefferson, and even we'll see, Cam and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. Stephon Gilmore, is he going to be treating him like he did A.J. Brown about a month ago? We shall see. That's the expectation. But also my expectation is we're going to see too much offense when it matters from the Vikings. Lay the 4 and take the Vikings coming up on Saturday.
Here's the scary thing. Tommy and I were talking about this last night. I think this game I think the Vikings are a 10-point favorite.
Yeah.
I really, truly do. And I see this 4, and it's sitting on 4. Money line's 200, so it's 2-1. Man, I love this game.
Vegas doesn't trust that defense.
They don't.
That is exactly it.
It's crazy when you see these lines, and it's like that line last week when the Lions were a 1-point favorite that went to 2.5 against your Vikings, and we talked about that last night as well. First time in ever that whatever the numbers were on that.
I think
second time,
whatever.
A 10-2 team goes into a 5-7 team, and They're an underdog. And that truly, again, it's tough. This Vikings team is tough to kind of get a handle on. But you know what? I think this is going to be a huge redemption. They're going to come back. And it's the Colts. We saw 33 points put on the Colts in the fourth quarter by the Cowboys. I don't know if we'll see that, but I think we're going to see Justin Jefferson do all kinds of magic and really tear that Colts defense up. I love your Vikings this week, Tommy, and this is my Larceny Lock of the week. Again, looking at it, scary with that line. It really, truly is. But you know what? Hey, if they're going to kind of dangle it out there to make you think, you should probably take the Colts. No way. I can't do it. Vikings, lay the 4. Larceny Lock of the week. Put the house on it, Nally.
I would agree. That seems like, Tommy, that should be more. But you watch that defense, and there's a reason why it's not. Because that defense is far from legit.
2,000 yards given up over 4 games.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But we've seen the Colts offense all year. It's not good. That offensive line, what happened? What happened to those guys? I think we're going to see a lot of Justin Jefferson, see a lot of T.J. Hawkinson, a lot of Vikings offense. I don't want to jinx my boys, but I'm probably going to take that 4 points or lay that 4 points. I'm sorry. Take them at home. I think the Vikings want to wrap up the North and secure their playoff spot. And I'll roll with the Vikes.
Jefferson go north of 150 yards receiving.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet it last night. We were talking about it, and I bet him over 166 yards, and it was plus 300. So it pays 3 to 1
for over 2,000. He might break the 2,000 yard mark this year.
Does Cousins go over 350 in passing?
Yes. He 425 last week in a loss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably a good bet, too.
Kirk's been lights out this year. He's played really well. It's the defense. He just can't stop anybody.
Now, was that defense much better against Mike Zimmer? I know he was a defensive philosopher.
It's gone downhill the last couple of years. I don't know what happened, but they changed to a 3-4 this year.
Yeah, they did do that.
The scheme's not working, so we'll see. If we can get the Colts offensive line is terrible. I think Danielle Hunter and Jadarius Smith might have a field day. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully we'll see if that week off does Matt Ryan any good too, right?
He's not very mobile.
Reinvigorated his arm, which I think we all doubt right there. All right, week 15, Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Anything we left out?
No, I think we got it all covered.
Nice.
Again, we got a full slate of games. We got Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's NFL season right now coming down to the heart.
Sports, this is your weekend.
This is it.
This is your place as well. Coach's Tavern, downtown, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. That is Tommy Sutton, the owner, and Brent Hulverson, our betting analyst, every single Thursday with us. Top of the hour, Mike Chappell, what Jim Irsay had to say about a head coaching search coming up at the end of the year. We'll talk to Mike about that and that matchup with the Vikings coming up in a little less than 30 minutes. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
At Shane Company, we know that love and meaning can be captured in a beautiful piece of fine jewelry. That's why we offer so many options to make your holiday gift even more personal. Jewelry with a birthstone makes a wonderful gift because it holds so much significance. Shane Company has unique styles with birthstones for every month of the year. Diamonds, cultured pearls, rubies, opals, and more. Why not create a necklace with her birthstone and then add a charm for good luck? A necklace with the first letter of her name lets her know how important she is to you. And our gold letter charms sparkle with diamond accents. Or select an engravable style. Give your loved one a bracelet inscribed with the place you met so they'll never forget that moment. Or capture your strong connection with a promise ring inscribed with both of your initials. Our jewelry consultants will make it easy. At Shane Company, we give you so many ways to create gifts infused with meaning. Treasures they'll have forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, John from PAI at WeGrowHairEddie.com, 888-724-5129. Check him out today if you want your real growing hair again. All you have to do is ask me. I'll tell you, it works and then some. 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairEddie.com today.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Hey, John here for Pickup USA Fitness. That's in Noblesville, right? So You get what is called Pickup USA Fitness. It's twofold here. One, they have a massive gymnasium, and every night after 6 o'clock, they've got pickup games. And after 6 o'clock every night with those pickup games, they are reffed up for you, too. So a great gymnasium, a huge weight, cardio, and training room, too. So much to do. But if you're looking for that pickup game, that used to be all too familiar, but anymore it's a struggle to find. Every single night after 6, you get the opportunity for pickup games at Pickup USA Fitness. That's in Noblesville. Right now, log on and get that membership starting at just $39.99. That's pickupusafitness.com. A shout out to Scott. pickupusafitness.com. Pickup USA Fitness, Noblesville. A better way to
Gather
play.
near and bring the cheer this holiday season. Dazzle and delight the love of your life with a gift from Hellsberg Diamonds. Don't miss great prices on stunning diamond studs, tennis bracelets, gemstone rings, and the year's must-have look, gold jewelry for stacking and layering. Another reason to go to Hellsberg? Get a free Microsoft Surface Laptop Go with a purchase of $1,699 or more. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you today. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in store for details.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com. Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. Copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
Hey, this time of year, you've noticed, right? Maybe when it gets cold that your heating unit's not doing what it should. It's not working efficiently. That's going to cost you money, and you will be uncomfortable as the temperatures get colder. So call in the absolute best. That's John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. Do it now. They will waive the $95 trip and diagnostic fee just for you because you listen here. You know where to go with the best. I want you to be warm and comfortable this winter. So make sure your system is doing the job that it should. 317-353-2141. That's love-hvac.com today.
Well, this is different. It's Saturday. On Saturday, the Colts play the Vikings in Minnesota Saturday. Matt Taylor has the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for the Colts. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's number one for new country. I got some famous friends. Long neck, high skull, beard, never broke my. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
The Ride with JMV.
My vision is to take this team as the first franchise to the Saturn Football League and play against 8-foot gargoyles that run 3.8 speed.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. We're downtown today. Coach's Tavern, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Week number 15. We just went over that. Me and our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, along with Tommy Sutton. Thank you for joining us inside the lounge via YouTube Live. There's Haas. I saw Haas in there getting loose a little bit. Thank you very much, Grifty, for always hanging out as well. Daniel tweets me up with this, so I'm sitting in Minneapolis right now watching the snowfall, getting ready for that Colts game coming up on Saturday afternoon. Indeed, Saturday afternoon. 10 a.m., in fact, I will get that thing going with the Colts pregame huddle. That's 10 a.m., with me coming up on Saturday morning. Kind of a weird time. I don't know what that's going to do because normally, if you guys listen to me, normally I will call in to the Home and Garden Show on WIBC with Pat and Denny and Terry on a Saturday morning. They start at 9, though, so I guess I could call in the 9 o'clock hour and then fire that up. But I love talking to Pat and Denny and Terry and Allison every single Saturday morning. If you guys listen to that on 93 WIBC, but 10 a.m. And remember, too, we fire things up at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning on 97.1 Hank FM. Luke Combs would be incredibly happy. 97.1 Hank FM
for that first hour of the Colts pregame huddle. Then I believe at 11, we join forces with everybody. 97.1 Hank FM, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. We get back into gear coming up for hour number 2 of that. Countdown to kickoff at noon. And again, that's an early kick on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So if for nothing else, it should be one heck of a time. No doubt about that. And listen, even in a disappointing season, which has been massively disappointing, even in a disappointing season, we'll see what is worthy of watching against this Minnesota team, who, as Tommy S. mentioned, now this defense has been not good. This defense gives up yards. This defense gives up points. So we shall see. Brett writes this. Did you see this? Bennedict Mathurin signed a multi-year shoe deal with Adidas. Somebody had asked me this. I don't know if this came from somebody else's story. Maybe it was a Kravitz story in The Athletic. Maybe it was somebody else. Who would you compare Bennedict Mathurin to? Bennedict Mathurin, you watch him. He plays. It seems like he plays so often on his tiptoes. And that always seems like the sign of an incredible athlete to me. It almost seems like at times he floats. Now, he's still going to hit some rough patches. But some of the comparisons I saw out there, the Jimmy Butler one is probably, to me, about as close as you get. Because one of these days, he goes to the basket so relentlessly. One of these days, he's going to shoot a lot of free throws every night. Now, what he has better than Butler right now is his three-point shooting ability. But one of these days, he's going to go to the free throw line a lot. He is relentless. 9 points in a spurt last night that basically was the difference in that game against the Golden State Warriors. A lot of Golden State folks there. I know that they're Steph Curry fans. Steph Curry goes out. Steph Curry was lighting it up. Draymond Green goes out. He was not. He was turning it over and being a pain, and he got tossed for being a pain. And Golden State's an absolute disaster on the road. I mean, a disaster. But the Pacers get a win. Pacers in Cleveland coming up. That is tomorrow night. We'll get our first look at the Donovan Mitchell-led Cleveland Cavaliers. But I did see that, Brett, a little bit earlier, that Bennedict Mathurin signed with Adidas. Did see it. From Corey Kinney, JMV, Candace and I are back in New Orleans. Want to come relive 2019? I don't. Thank you very much. The last time IU played in Kansas was in Kansas. Was it at Allen Fieldhouse, or was it just played Kansas in general? Yeah, that 103-99 game is the last time they matched up the Jayhawks and the Hoosiers, as they'll do it coming up again on Saturday. So yeah, this weekend's going to be fun. Saturday's going to be outstanding. JMV, a guy who's never called plays and a head coach who's never coached before. Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that one before? Yeah, Purdue's kind of taking that Colts playbook a little bit, aren't they? For the Citrus Bowl. That's amazing. We'll get to Jim Irsay and what he had to say about his coaching search and mention the collegiate ranks a couple of different times. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. And your thoughts sitting here right now on whether or not you believe it should be Jeff Saturday. They're going to go out. They're going to interview. Would you rather have Jeff Saturday or somebody collegiately? I know everybody would rather have Jim Harbaugh. But others that they may have interest in, we'll talk to Mike Chappell coming up at the top of the hour about that. Coach's Tavern downtown, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. That is week 15 tomorrow. Blue Chaparral, we're on Southeastern Avenue. That is a Bud Light Blue Friday with Chargers Colts tickets coming up tomorrow, southeast side of Indy on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
And Query.
Rick Carlisle. Andrew Nemhard would make me sleep pretty easy at night. Has he provided that for you?
His college coach told one of our scouts, you present a set of problems or challenges. He figures it out as quickly or more quickly than any player he's ever had at Gonzaga. And Gonzaga's really established a major big-time program. And this kid played with Suggs, and he played with, a lot of other really high-level players.
Kevin and Query.
Weekday mornings at 7.
On 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
It's PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com, and JMV here, and I can tell you all you need to know. It does work. If you're losing your hair and you don't want to, I've been in your spot before. I'm glad that I called 888-724-5129. I'm glad I talked to Darren Anders about it, and let me tell you, you will too. If you want the option of real growing hair, it's PAI, 888-724-5129, WeGrowHairAndy.com today.
Hey, Alexa, you want to go out with me?
Fat chance. Dog breath.
Okay, I was just asking.
If you want to do the smart thing, say, Alexa, play 107.5 The Fan.
Now that's smart.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, John here for Caesars Sportsbook. The promo code is Radio Full. Your first bet up to $1,250. It is risk-free. If you whiff on it, you get it back in site credit. That is just one of the reasons that makes Caesars Sportsbook the best out there. So make sure you download the app today. Use that promo code Radio Full. And we'll talk about those Caesars rewards that you can get, a part of the absolute best out there. If you're looking for a wagering site, and you have questions, you can ask me about it, but I can just tell you, nobody out there is as good as Caesars Sportsbook. And again, up to $1,250, and that first bet is risk-free. You can go across the board wherever you want to go with the Colts and the Vikings on Saturday, maybe look ahead, a little something else on Sunday in week number 15, but you can find it with the absolute best, and that's Caesars Sportsbook. That promo code is Radio Full today. Open to new users in Indiana who are 21 years or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned to site credit. Got to use it within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Catch another Bud Light Blue Friday broadcast with JMV from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill. Enter the football toss, and you could be the next fan to win a pair of tickets to see the Colts take on the Chargers.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, me and betting analyst Brent Hulverson. Every Thursday, we lock them up and we take some shots, both in fantasy and the world of wagering against the spread. It's Larceny Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, every Thursday, 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
The Pacers head to Cleveland to face the Cavaliers tomorrow night at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I want savages on the field. I want to lead the league in broken ribs. I want to put people in the hospital legally, no hitting in the head. I want them to cry and be scared to play us.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Pacers in Cleveland coming up tomorrow night. Pacers last night a win over the Warriors. We're talking about Bennedict Mathurin. Give me a good NBA comparison. I said Jimmy Butler. I think Butler's a little bit taller. Butler right now is a little bit stronger, but I think that's a good comparison. What do you got? Jimmy Butler's too good at defense? Well, you wouldn't expect a rookie to be very good at defense. Don't you think that's something where he's already strong the way that it is? He's only going to get stronger. I don't think that's something he's going to leave behind. Eddie, back in the studio, what do you got? Modern-day comparison.
I was thinking like a Bradley Beal kind of player. He's able to score at all three levels. I think eventually he'll get to the point where he can become a distributor with the basketball in his hands, but right now he's so hyper-focused on attacking downhill that it just kind of reminds me of early stages of Bradley Beal.
What do you got, Cam?
Oh, I said Rip Hamilton. That was mine. Because I just felt like, I don't know why that came to head, but I think he did really well for the Pistons. It was just a natural scorer overall.
Rashard Lewis. Rashard Lewis was not as multi-dimensional off the dribble, though. So Rashard Lewis was about 6'10", too, I think, if memory serves. Sebastian says Mathurin looks like Dwayne Wade and a Butler mix. When I watch him play, because, again, he's so relentless and so strong, that's the player that comes to mind is Jimmy Butler. And, again, I'm not considering the prowess defensively of Butler, just like I'm not considering the fact that Mathurin is going to be a much better three-point threat than Butler has been in his career. But to me, the strength, and this is something that Mathurin is going to do to me, he's going to get to the free throw line a lot. And that's what Butler does as well. So I say Jimmy Butler right now. John Buzzard says Mathurin's comparison has to be Latrell Sprewell. Yeah, I don't know. Ray Allen. I don't remember Ray Allen being that prominent off the dribble, though. I'm not completely dismissing it because this is just kind of spitballing here. But since somebody brought that up, we'll continue that. Brent Hulverson, our betting analyst, rejoins us. We did week 15 of our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots a little bit earlier today. We have coming up at Joe's Grill on Sunday. I'll be a part of this, too. Provided they have ample toiletry for me up there. I need some toilet space on the road, but we're doing a chili cook-off up there for a great charity, correct?
Really is, and this is, I think it's the 16th year they've done this. It is one of the best Sundays. Not only do we get the NFL football, and you've got 30 TVs to watch all the games up at Joe's Grill in Castleton, but yes, you're absolutely right. So this is Chili Cook-Off. All the money raised goes to the Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital. So nice. Very great charity there. Going to have some all-star celebrity guest judging. Yourself, myself, Mr. Jim Romanak's going to be joining us.
Oh, Romy's going to be up there.
Kelly Eisenhower, one of the greatest guitar players and musicians you've ever seen. It's just going to be, it's great. So you get up there. All you have to do to get there, John, if anybody out there wants to enter their chili, they just have to be there and by 12:30 this Sunday.
Yes.
And a Joe's representative will get you plugged in. Just bring your crock pot. They'll get you all plugged in. They'll give you a number. The judging will start at 2 o'clock. And then as soon as we're done with the judging, everybody for $5, and that all goes to charity, all you can eat chili out of all the contestants. There's usually 20, 25 pots of chili up there. So we're going to have some tasting to do, and I'll have to make sure Mr. Nally gets you that VIP bathroom reserved.
Yeah, well, I need that, especially the way it's going right now. So that's coming up on Sunday. What time does it start at Joe's Grill?
That is Sunday. So all pots of chili have to be there by 12:30,
Gotcha.
but we're going to do the judging at 2. And then about 2:30 or so, they also have a 50-50 raffle, so a great way to come up. 50% of the money is going to go to charity as well on the raffle. 50% could be you if you enter to win. So they're going to, about 2:30-ish, we'll announce the winner, first, second, third place of chili. There's a nice little cash prize there for the winners. And like I say, all the money's going to go to charity. So great way to come out and celebrate.
I know a lot of people are going to say that's not chili, but you have me at Chili Mac. Listen, if there's either a spaghetti noodle or a macaroni noodle in it, I'm about it.
I'm with you too, man.
That's going to always get the edge. People are going to go, that's not chili. It is chili to me. So if you've got some sort of noodle in it, I'm down with it.
You know, I am too, and it's a big controversy, right? It's 50-50. People are no noodles, yes noodles, whatever. I personally am with you. The more the merrier. Love some great flavor. Here's the best part about it too, John. So not only we have a chance to win some money. So first place is $300.
Nice.
Right? So they're going to win. You have a chance to win $300. You get your name on a plaque there at Joe's. It's the 17th year, actually. Mr. Nally just tweeted me. $200 for second place, $50 for third. The Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital, like I said. Also, there's a little toy drive. So they're giving away toys. If you can bring an unwrapped toy, bring it in. They'll have a box up there to drop it off. They raise anywhere, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So it's a great event.
Yes.
You're gonna be out watching football anyway. Come out and see us, right? We'll have a chance to chat with you. So if you're listening, you got a good chili recipe, bring it up to Joe's Castleton. Be there by 12:30 Sunday.
If your chili recipe includes a macaroni noodle or a spaghetti noodle,
you get a bonus point.
I've already told you. I've told you you're in front of the line right there if you have that.
No.
Now, I'm not a cinnamon guy. I don't want any cinnamon in it. I don't want any cinnamon in it. But no, if you give me the Texas-style chili mac type of thing, I'm all about that. You've already got me. You had me at noodle.
Absolutely. I think the more the merrier, too. I like big chunks of tomatoes and onions and
a big chunks of burger, just some big meat.
The best part about it, John, is there's going to be 25 different recipes, right? So it's pretty cool. We did this last. Did we do it last? Was it last year?
We did.
Right?
I was there last year.
It took a couple of years off for COVID there, but last year we did it. Again, a lot of great entries, and you see a lot of different styles, right? I mean, that's the cool thing. Again, we'll probably have 50% with those noodles, so they're already a step up from our celebrity judge, Mr. JMV. If you're listening, throw a noodle in there.
Throw a noodle in there. That's coming up on Sunday. You got to be there by 12:30.
Be there by 12:30. Yep. Turn your pot of chili in your crock pot, and they'll get you ready to go.
We will hang and watch the Week 15 Sunday games.
Absolutely.
Coming up then. It's Brent Hulverson right there. He'll be a part of that as well. That's at Joe's Grill in Castleton, and they're doing it for a great cause. Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital. That is coming up on Sunday. Quick break, and we shall return. Coach's Tavern downtown. What Jim Irsay had to say about the coaching search coming up here in the offseason. And was there anything to what he said about mentioning collegiate coaches twice? Is there anything that he had mentioned regarding Jeff Saturday where you believe that regardless of who they interview, Jeff Saturday right now has the job? Talk to Mike Chappell about that, about the matchup with the Vikings, and more coming up on the other side. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, this is different. It's Saturday on Saturday. The Colts play the Vikings in Minnesota Saturday. Matt Taylor has the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for the Colts. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's number one for new country. I got some famous friends. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
Got a great idea for you, fellas. I know that you're worn out trying to come up with a new and an original idea this holiday season. I've been there. I've done that. I've failed miserably, but I've got something for you right here. Naturally nude pajamas, courtesy pajamagram.com. Soft and silky. She will love it. You will dig it. I promise you of that right now. Plus, you order now. Pajamagram will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie. Who would not want that with that order? And do it just in time for the holiday season. Make sure it gets here on time. And they also provide free gift packaging. Again, pajamagram.com. Naturally nude pajamas. Gotta go something original this year. Not a gift card to this or a gift card to that. Go with naturally nude pajamas from pajamagram.com. Order today. Tell them JMV sent you. That's pajamagram.com.
A new season. A new QB. A new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Join me, JMV, at the Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill for your chance at Chargers tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you Friday at the Chaparral Sports Bar.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down, so she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day, and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come in for a free fitting, no appointment needed. The Good Feet store, in the north, near Keystone at the Crossing or in Greenwood.
Be one
with the Force on December 18th for Star Wars Night, when the Indiana Pacers take on the New York Knicks. Head to Pacers.com/Star Wars for an exclusive ticket promotion, including a game night ticket, a limited edition Pacers plus Star Wars co-branded shirt, a food voucher including a hot dog, bag of chips, and small Pepsi starting at just $20. Star Wars Night this Sunday for Pacers versus Knicks. Tickets at Pacers.com/Star Wars.
There's no gift that's more beautiful, more versatile, and more meaningful than a beautiful piece of jewelry. And there's no better place to shop than Diamonds Direct, where celebrating memorable moments is our specialty. This holiday season, we've put together our most impressive selection of can't-miss gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands for every taste and every price range. And don't worry about higher prices and high interest rates. At Diamonds Direct, we've got your back with our guaranteed best value pricing and 3 years zero interest financing on any holiday purchase. That's right, zero interest financing. So that $5,000 Eternity Band is just over $138 a month. With this special offer, everything's affordable. So come to Diamonds Direct. Let our experts help you choose that perfect showstopper gift for this holiday season. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our all-new online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Saturday, the Butler Bulldogs open Big East play, hosting the undefeated and top 5 ranked UConn Huskies. Tip-off is 7 p.m. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets. Get to Hinkle Fieldhouse this weekend.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Hey, thank you for joining us. We're back at Coach's Tavern on Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday. Look what happened when you got a little bit of a head cold out here, everybody. You see this? Oh, yeah. We put that. If you guys are watching via YouTube Live right now, this is why we do it right here. Now, I'm going to get that out of the way. I got to get the chlorocidin high blood pressure out of the way here. We get that out of the way. This is why we do it right here for that. Great time down here. Tomorrow, Blue Chaparral, Southeastern Avenue. Bud Light, Blue Friday, Chargers, Colts tickets. We might even have... provided I can maintain, coming up tomorrow. A little bit of fun times afterwards, too, coming up tomorrow. My friends from Zinc and others who shall remain nameless coming up tomorrow. But you can be a part of it, too. I need more to the crew. I told you this when I go out. Even when I went on dates back in the day, I had to be a part of a group. I was group dating guy. Always. We'd go to McCree's Deli in Bloomington. We'd get one of those long booths, right? The wooden booths. And I would stack up like 10 people. I was group date guy back in the day. Always have been and always will be. Be looking for you coming up tomorrow. Blue Chaparral, that's on Southeastern Avenue. Should be a great time on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Meantime, a little bit earlier, we did our locks and our shots. We also talked to Tom Dienhart of Gold and Black Illustrated. So a lot going down with the Purdue football program. The hiring of a new coach, Ryan Walters, that was made official at least with the introductory press conference yesterday. Aiden O'Connell is going to opt out of the Citrus Bowl. Others are going to opt out of the Citrus Bowl. And Drew Brees is going to be an assistant coach on the sideline, which is pretty interesting, too, other than the fact that Tom Dienhart said it was more of a PR maneuver than it was anything else right there. But that gives you a reason, I guess, to sit back and relax and watch the Citrus Bowl with LSU and Purdue. But we talked to Tom Dienhart about that as well. Clayton Anderson, the country music artist, a little bit earlier. He's in Kansas City coming up on Saturday, so he's inviting anybody that's an IU fan that's going to Allen Fieldhouse for their matchup with the Jayhawks on Saturday to swing by the Tin Roof where he's going to be in Kansas City and watch him perform that evening. So Clayton Anderson, podcast 1075thefan.com. The number one team in the nation, the Purdue Boilermakers, get Davidson here downtown at Gainbridge Fieldhouse tomorrow night. Matt Payne and our conversation from yesterday is up on a podcast. That's 1075thefan.com. But on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from CBS 4 and Fox 59, Mike Chappell joins us. So get kind of bits and pieces today of what Jim Irsay had to say at the owners' meetings regarding his coaching search. And a couple of different times he mentioned collegiate coaching ranks. It's Jim Irsay, so I kind of know what we're getting into here. Should we at all read in to that being talked about twice, or again, was that just Jim Irsay being Jim Irsay?
Is Jim Harbaugh still coaching in the college ranks?
He is.
Yeah, I thought that he came off so strong in the introductory press conference with Jeff Saturday that, this is for 8 games and hopefully more and all that. I thought he came on way too strong for Jeff Saturday. I thought they were putting Jeff Saturday in a very, very bad situation. You got to look at your options. And Jeff coming out this week saying he wants to, this is what he wants to do, which is number one. I think a lot of us thought, is this something he really wants to do? It sounds pretty cool until you dive into the deep end of the pool and there's sharks in there, because he had never done it at this level at all. So he checked the first box in that, hey, I would like to do this. I want to be considered. So when they come and have, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 interviews, he needs to be one of them. He just does. But at the same time, there's going to be other guys. I mean, the Jim Harbaughs, and I don't know if Lincoln Riley is ready yet. Maybe he wants to stay another year. But you're going to have a group of very, very qualified. And again, none of this is meant to throw shade on Jeff Saturday. It's just that when you're talking about this level in one of 32 positions, you're going to have quality people with deep resumes to consider, which you should. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see when they start leaking out in January about their short list. You've always got short lists. You do, because you never know. And I wish I'd been at the owners' meetings, and I don't know that it was breached or it would have been written about, but before you can decide on a coach, you've got to decide on a GM. Is Chris Ballard going to come back? I mean, by all indications, yes, but we know how things swerve from time to time. So, before you decide on, let's bring in 8 guys to talk about the head coaching job, will this be Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard, or will this be Jim Irsay and who? So that's the first domino that needs to fall.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So as you mentioned in that introductory press conference, Jim Irsay was speaking from a stance of strength regarding his belief in Jeff Saturday. Do you think he still feels that way about Jeff Saturday right now? What do you think he is compared to that first press conference?
Boy, it's hard because they put, when you step back and look at it, they put Jeff in a position to fail. They just did.
They did.
They were a mess at quarterback. They were a mess on offense. And to think that, George Halas in his prime, Don Shula in his prime, couldn't have fixed that is crazy. So it was just unfair. It was unfair to put Sam Ehlinger out there. It's been unfair to put Parks Frazier in this position because you're asking guys to step in an untenable situation. So I don't know what Jeff could have done or will do over the last month to give you a strong indication. I mean, they've got 4 games, 3 against teams that are either right there in the playoffs or pushing for it, and you've got Houston. They can play well and win 1 game. Or they can play well and go 2-2. I don't know. I mean, the Giants aren't great shakes, but they're playoff right there, and the Chargers are going to score points because that's what they do. So I don't know, barring just a complete collapse. I mean, not I'm talking another Dallas fourth quarter or New England. I just don't know what you can glean from Jeff. He is who he is. He brings energy. He brings direction. And all of that. I think he's got good leadership skills. But it's just such a hard situation because keep in mind, he's now without three offensive cogs with Frank Reich, Marcus Brady, and Clayton Adams. So it's just hard to do. I hope they finish strong from a competitive standpoint. That would show me something. But until you get, but again, the stepping stones, which coach will come in here too, but until you get the GM solidified, is it Chris? Is it somebody else? I don't know. I hope it's Chris just because I think he's done some really good things except for quarterback and left tackle, and we could argue on edge pass rusher. But, and then what do you do at quarterback? I've heard people say this is not an attractive place because you've got an owner that's all of a sudden making decisions. You've got, you've got no answer moving forward at quarterback. None. And left tackle, you hope Bernhard Raimann is a guy, but at quarterback, how do you sell somebody on coming here? Well, you do because there's only 32 of these. And I just don't think somebody's going to say, no, I think I'll pass on this until New England comes open or whatever. So I think you're going to get quality candidates, but they have got to have some long-range plan at general manager and, then the next domino is coach and then quarterback. And it's just going to be right down there, 7th in the draft order, I think it is. So, I keep thinking they're going to get maybe the third best quarterback, and that's going to require moving up. And it may be, do you throw the rookie in next year? So it could be another year or two before this team really knows where it's going.
All right, Mike, you look at the handling of this, too, and it's really a double-edged sword. Reason being is, from a standpoint, if you're Jim Irsay and you do believe in Jeff Saturday, or if you're a fan and you want to see Jeff Saturday remain the head coach, if you truly do believe in him, you want to see some results, positive results. And if you get positive results, that helps bury that chance to get one of those top 3 quarterbacks in the spring draft. So, again, this was so botched by Jim Irsay in general, putting Saturday out there. I mean, if you really wanted that debate and you wanted him to start with a clean slate as well, all right, take that shot after the season. Say, I believe in this guy. We're going to do this, and we'll debate about it all year long. But at least you don't have now the muddy water of this guy's been the coach of this team and they've won one game since, when in all likelihood that was going to be the case regardless of the head coach.
Yeah, I heard. I've talked with other people about that. About would have made more sense to just wait. Put one of the guys, John Fox or somebody, as interim coach, and try to muddle through and finish again 1-6 or 1-7, whatever it's going to be with the interim basis, and bring in Jeff. As hard of a sell nationally as it was, and it turned out to be like a joke. To bring Jeff in as interim coach with no experience, how would you possibly have sold that moving forward for the next 4 or 5 years, you're going with a guy with zero experience? That would have been tough. Yes, he would have had no 1-7 or whatever it was going to be as an interim coach, but that would have been such a hard sell. I mean, and to some level, you've got to have credibility, I guess. I don't know what the better word is. So if they had gone to Jeff after going through the Rooney Rule in January or whenever, and talking with 2 or 3 minorities and 2 or 3 other coaches, and you go with Jeff, and then what you do, I assume, you use the same quotes you used at the introductory press conference, where I don't want him to have the fear. I don't want him. No experience is a good thing. But no, it's not. No, it's not. So I think that would have been. I understand the rationale, but that would have been such a hard sell to go so far outside the box for a head coach. Now, again, will Jeff be a candidate? he has to be. After all they've done and all they said, he has to be. And he will present himself great. He will. But, again, you're going to have other guys that have done it before with good resumes, either college. Harbaugh, might as well go around the Ring of Honor and start bringing guys to be head coach because that's kind of what they're doing. But I just think there are going to be a couple of candidates, several candidates, who are just too good to turn down. And then would Jeff come back as line coach? I don't know. I'd like to see it. I really would. But again, they've created all of this, and I don't know that there's an easy way to get out of it unless you simply go through the process and get in a guy and say, this is our guy and this is why. Not because it doesn't look right on the outside, but because this is what he's done here and this is what he's done there, and we believe he can do that again here. That would be such a hard sell with Jeff. And again, I count Jeff as a friend, and I follow his career here. But the lack of experience and being in such a bad situation over the last 2 months of the season, I just don't know how you can step back and say, I saw all I needed to see. I believe this is right. I don't know how you sell that to your fan base if that's important to you.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that's going to be difficult to sell to the fan base, and chief among them would be bringing Chris Ballard back.
I don't disagree.
I get what you're saying about that, but he has got no believers right now. And if you are a believer, I mean, you're on the fringe. You say, well, this is what he's done okay, but unfortunately he's done okay with those non-essential positions. The essential to win NFL games at a high level, he's botched. I thought he botched that as much as the owner botched bringing Jeff Saturday on when he did. I don't know how you sell bringing him back to anybody at this point.
It would be a hard sell. And I go back, Kevin Bowen asked him the question, Irsay, about Chris Ballard, and he said, that's not even on my consciousness now. And I think he went further to say, yeah, he'll be back. But again, things change. And like I said, I think we've talked before, if I put down the good and the bad, I could put 25 things in the good column. I really could, and be strong on it. And the negative column would be, quarterback, left tackle, edge pass rusher. That's still open to debate. And Josh McDaniel, back when that decision was made. So
yeah,
you're right, and that's one to where I just sit there and nod when you tell me all the reasons not to bring him back, because it's hard. It's hard when you do it that way. Because, like you said, we're talking, Rick Venturi and I were on, and you and I, we were on that boat from the start on Quentin Nelson. Great player. He's a guard. And now you're paying him $20 million a year because he's more than played to the level you wanted, yet you don't know what you're doing at left tackle. So it's everything you say is right. I'm a guy that I hate change unless it's just doggone it. We can't keep doing this. I'm not quite there yet. We'll see if the owner is, and it's going to really test his faith, because I honestly believe Irsay trusts and have faith in Chris Ballard. I really do. And having said that, he went not behind his back. He unilaterally made these three major changes over the last year, with Wentz and Bench and Ryan and firing Frank, that Chris Ballard, at least on two of them, wasn't in lockstep with. So, like I say, they've created this, and the problem is, again, like I say, people don't want to hear it, but this is not an easy fix. It's not an easy fix. And keep in mind, you've got next off season is when you extend Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. So what do you do there? You're going to make Michael Pittman a $25 million a year receiver? So I don't know. It's such a big off season, and unless they get the quarterback right, it doesn't matter.
Who do you think's done the most damage, considering where this team is right now? Because I mentioned Mike. I think that it's even more embarrassing because of the way Tennessee is playing right now. They were all but begging for somebody, including the Colts, to overtake them, and for this to be the year. And even in a year in which Tennessee's having a December of this year in which Tennessee is having, Sorry about that, Mike. I unplugged myself right there with my foot. Sorry about that. But you look at Tennessee, and they have been so bad in December. They're right to be overtaken, and that's something that this Colts team and Jim Irsay has wanted to do for such a long time. I think it makes the situation even more embarrassing. So with that, who do you think is more to blame? Who's really set this team back more, the owner or the general manager to this point?
Probably the GM. I mean, again, just because, and again, we've talked again, they've all had their hands in this quarterback mess. The owner, the GM, and Frank, and Frank really took it on the chin with the Carson Wentz. He had to do a big sell there, and that set him back. So, but the other ones, left tackle, they've made a couple of moves or not made a couple of moves, and it's bit them in the butt with not going after Darashaw and bringing in Eric Fisher and then going into this year with Matt Pryor as your starters. That's GM / scouting. Edge pass rush. I think Kwity Paye is going to be a really good player. He's not going to be Freeney, but he's going to be really good. But like you said, there are holes in the roster that are GM / personnel. It just is. So if you're divvying up blame, I would say more to the GM. It's kind of like was it Bill Parcells about? Is it better to be the if you're going to make me be the chef, let me help as a coach. Give me the chance to get the players. So I think in some instances it has been personnel and some of the coaches. I mean the offensive line has regressed. I don't care how much lipstick they put on the pig. It's still a pig right now, and this is with 3 top tier players. That I think Braden Smith is starting to play pretty well. I think Quentin's getting his act together. I think Ryan Kelly's still up and down, but right guard and left tackle, you don't know. You just don't know. And at this point in the season, and what's crazy is injuries have not been the issue on the offensive line. It's been performance. So yeah, that's the hard part. It's more personnel, and that's why I can argue all the good things Chris has done, but it's just when you get to the 2 or 3 key spots, it's tough. It's really tough. So I don't know. I'm really curious what's going on in Jim Irsay's mind with that. And Chris isn't going anywhere. Chris isn't going to resign. He's way too much. Believes in himself, and he should to resign. But at the same time, here you are, the GM, and the owner has not gone with what you wanted to do in some key spots. So it's difficult. They're in a difficult spot. And again, I go back to the same thing. This is a thing of their own making, and it's going to take a couple of years to get out of it.
You think fans out there would rather see Jeff Saturday return as the head coach next year or Chris Ballard return as the general manager?
That's a good one. Fans, probably Jeff Saturday, which is crazy. Again, I like Jeff, I really do, but I like a little more experience with my head coach. And so, yeah, that's a good question. You ought to put that on Twitter and see what kind of response you get. But again, as much as you listen to fans and you're entertained by fans, I don't think fans should drive decisions on a franchise. I really don't. So it's the owner needs to really set some kind of a tone away from what he's done. And if you trust your GM this much, if you do, then you gotta let him make the hard decisions. And maybe after that embarrassment at New England, there was no other thing to do. I see that. I really do. But I don't care who they brought in; it wasn't going to work. It wasn't because you weren't fixing anything. So that's a really good question, and I don't know the answer to it. But we'll need to know early in the process. I mean, January, as soon as the Houston game's over, we need to know not the head coach, but we need to know if Chris Ballard will be part of the decision-making process, and that will give you some idea. And if he's back, if Chris is back, he needs to be able somehow to regain control of the really nut-cutting decisions, and I don't know if the owner will do that. So it's just that's what we've talked before about how you need the head coach and the GM need to be in lockstep. You know, Chuck and Ryan Grigson really weren't, especially at the end. Well, Tony Dungy and Bill Polian were. They were two of the most different personalities you've ever seen, and it worked. It worked. Well, if your coach and GM don't mesh, what have you got? And that's why, again, the GM has to very much be in favor and in a strong part of the process in who you bring in as coach. You can't you can't thrust a new head coach on a GM. And if Chris is back, he's not back for 1 year. He's back for maybe for the rest of the contract because you know next year's going to be rough. It just is. So like I say, it's going to be interesting. An interesting couple of months leading up to the draft, and then the draft's going to be really interesting.
So Mike Chappell's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, staying with a fan theme right here. Is Jim Harbaugh, and I'm not suggesting he's going to have any interest whatsoever. There was a flirtation with Minnesota a year ago. We do know that. But is he the cure-all in the fan court of public opinion right now as far as, a possible hire, could be hire a head coach?
Probably. In a way, it's like, well, anybody else. It's kind of like the backup quarterback. When the quarterback's not playing well, you want the backup quarterback just because you want somebody else. But and there probably won't be a better time for Harbaugh to leave. There comes a time for these college coaches where you either leave or you don't. Remember all the flirtations with a lot of people, including the Colts, with Ferentz at Iowa?
Yeah.
And, the Colts went after him a couple times, and other teams did as well, and now that's who he is. He's Iowa. Well, I don't know that Jim Harbaugh will have any better opportunity, leverage, whatever you want to use, than whatever happens with Michigan in the playoffs. So I would think, unless he comes out and says, no, I'm not staying. I don't want to hear one of these, well, right now I'm not thinking about that. No, you're either thinking about it or you're not. So if he does not want to come to the Colts or anywhere else, just come out and say it. Don't leave the door open just a little bit, and that's what a coach can do. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here, and don't couch it. But I think he would probably do a pretty good job because he did a darn good job in Frisco until he and the GM kind of got cross-eyed and all this, and I think he might be difficult for the media to work with, but I don't care as long as whoever the coach is gets the team whipped back into shape. That's all that matters. I don't care if you get Belichick to deal with or whatever. If the team wins and the team's a contender, that's all that matters.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. It's funny you mentioned, Kirk Ferentz being known as, Iowa. It kind of makes you wonder. He's never said it, but it kind of makes you wonder if Jim Harbaugh would not, from here on out, want to be known as, Mr. Michigan, like Bo Schembechler was. So, I guess yeah, go ahead.
The problem, though, is in college is, let's say they win the national title. Then there's no place to go but down. And boy, you go and you lose to Ohio State a couple of years and then see how long your national championship aura stays with you. So, college football is so volatile. And if you slip for a couple of years, and Ohio State's not going away, they're going to be pretty good through the years. So, but no, you're right. Do you want to be Bo Schembechler? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being the guy that was there for whatever it was, 20, 25 years. I did all the Woody Hayes and all that. But if he has any itch to get back in the NFL, I just don't know that he'll have a better chance than coming off this season, unless Michigan goes out and just gets pummeled, which they look to be too good for that. So it's always about timing. Is this the right time for this guy to move? And again, if you don't move now, maybe you're not. Maybe the train passes you by and it doesn't stop again for you. So I don't know that Harbaugh will have a better opportunity. Now, whether he wants that or not, I don't know.
All right, Mike, Minnesota coming up on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Minnesota offensively, obviously, with Jefferson, huge. We're going to see a lot of Stephon Gilmore. I think Cam and I were talking about this before the start of the show. It seemed like that Gilmore, was blanketing A.J. Brown when they played the Eagles. Are we going to see individually, defensively, Gilmore, you think, trying to shadow as much as possible Jefferson Saturday?
I sure hope so. And again, they normally, even with Devontae Adams, they didn't do it the entire game. It was situationally, I guess. But don't you just know that if he's on him 60% of the time, then that other 40%, Jefferson's just going to go off. And if he's on him 60%, Jefferson may win half of those because he's that good, and that's how that position is. So you got to go strength on strength. And then, by the way, they got Dalvin Cook. They got the tight end. So they've got an awful lot offensively. And, without Kenny Moore, it hurts. I just one thing that's crazy is the Vikings have given up 400 yards in 5 straight games. That's crazy. They're last in the league in defense. Last. And do you have any optimism that the Colts can do what they need to do to attack what's there to be attacked? And I don't. So it's too bad because when you have teams that have issues, because they're going to score points, the Vikings are, because that's who they are. But I just don't see how this team can't push the ball down the field, which makes it tough on Jonathan Taylor. It's the same story every week is how can they score enough to make it competitive? And recently they've not been able to do that. Recently, all season.
We'll save this for later, but I'll just maybe appetize people for it. Normally in these types of transition seasons, where I'm assuming this is what we're going to call it after the end of the regular season here, they're going to go over the books and look at high-dollar veteran guys that maybe we think are rock solid right now for the foreseeable future, that suddenly because of that, they aren't. Anybody pop into your head as far as guys that could be a casualty as we move forward here into the offseason?
Well, good question. And again, if they change GMs, then all bets are off. Because then you bring in maybe a new style. And all. That's a good question. Ryan Kelly, maybe. But again, I go back to, if you remember John Ogier, used to be a great Colts.com guy. And he always had the great thing about when it comes to cut day in August, when you're cutting your 60 or 65 or whatever it was to 53, it's easy to cut to 53. It's tough to stop sometimes. It's easy to cut guys. It's tougher to replace them. So if you're going to cut a center or your nickel cornerback or somebody, you better have somebody in line to replace them because you've already got problems. Quarterback, left tackle, right guard. Now you're going to create one at center, or you're creating one at nickel, you're creating one at wherever. So, and I don't think the cap's going to be a big issue for them, depending on what they do with Matt Ryan. Do you bring Matt Ryan back? It's $18 million if he's sitting at home, and it's $35 if he's sitting in Indianapolis. So, and if you don't bring Matt Ryan in, you need a veteran quarterback to help the rookie. So everything is sort of intertwined. But I don't think there's a lot of dead weight to get off the roster. I don't think. And again, you can do whatever you want with the cap. And if you bring in a rookie quarterback, he's going to cost you nothing, relatively nothing. But you've got to find a left tackle. He's going to cost you something. And as I said too, normally you're going to be redoing your number one receiver and the running back who is your best player. So all of that goes together, and how do you prioritize running back or receiver? Well, generally, you keep your receiver. Although Tennessee didn't, and it probably helped get their GM fired, and Baltimore got rid of their guy. So it's easy to say, well, Michael Pittman, we can get another one of those, but you haven't. Over the years you haven't. So a lot of very interesting decisions. Like I said, it's easy to cut people. It's a lot harder to replace them with people.
Mike Chappell, no doubt. Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. I think that's going to be a reality, though. I do. And trying to figure out whether or not you believe that Bernard Ryman is the future at left tackle.
No question.
That's also going to be a reality, something to watch.
Have you seen enough to believe that? I haven't. He's getting better.
Not at all.
But
not at all.
You know, when the mistakes he makes are just really bad ones, as is the case at left tackle. That's what I say. They've got 3 or 4 or 5 serious issues on and off the field that they've got to decide before you even kind of know what it takes shaping for next season.
Mike, I appreciate you. Enjoy the game on Saturday.
Will do. Talk to you next week.
Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Coaches Tavern downtown. It's a Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Week 15 Thursday. Tomorrow's Bud Light Blue Friday. First time place on the southeast side. I shall explain coming up in a minute. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, this is different. It's Saturday. On Saturday, the Colts play the Vikings in Minnesota Saturday. Matt Taylor has the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for the Colts. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's number 1 for new country. I got some famous friends. Long neck, high skull, beard, never broke my. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
PAI at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's 888-724-5129. Real growing hair again with PAI. 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Got a great idea for you now as we venture into the holiday season, right? It's going to get colder and colder. You're going to make sure that your heating unit's doing the job to keep you comfortable in your home. 317-353-2141. That's John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air. Right now, they got a great deal for you. They're going to waive the $95 travel and diagnostic fee to make sure that your system maintains and works efficiently and keeps you warm and comfortable as we head into the winter months ahead. That's Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141 online, love-hvac.com today.
I'm Sherry Shepard. You probably know me best as a co-host on The View. More importantly, I'm a mom. If you're pregnant or a new mom, you can get timely expert information to help keep your baby healthy, something every mother wants. Through a free service called Text for Baby, women get health tips sent directly to their cell phones to help them care for their babies through the first year. Just text BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511-411. That's BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511-411 for the health of your baby.
It's Pick Up USA Fitness in Noblesville. It's a struggle, and believe me, I've been out there too. All right, trying to find a place, if you're a hooper, to play pickup basketball every night after 6 o'clock. They have pickup games at Pick Up USA Fitness in Noblesville. In fact, they are reffed up for you as well. A massive gym, huge weight, cardio, and training facility as well. Membership starting at just $39.99, and a place where you know pickup games are going to happen after 6 o'clock every night. That's Pick Up USA Fitness in Noblesville. Log on now. Make sure you get your memberships going. PickUpUSAFitness.com. That's Pick Up USA Fitness Noblesville. A better way to play.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
It's Kevin and Query.
Matt Miller, ESPN draft analyst.
I love this part of the season where fans and radio hosts realize, hey, we are screwed.
Hey, hand is raised right here in Indy, man.
When I was at Bleacher Report, we would have meetings and it would be hilarious. Time to dial it up. Let's start doing mock drafts and big boards because you have fan bases that realize around Thanksgiving that they're out of it. And unfortunately for Colts fans, you guys fall into that bucket this year.
Kevin and Query.
Weekday mornings at 7
on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. and totally redeem yourself.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
This is Warren, everybody. 49ers and Seahawks later on tonight. That's a Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. 49ers hitting the groove right now, even with the backup to the backup to the backup right there. 49ers 9-4 away from home. They're 3-3 on the season. Seahawks, meantime, you got to give a lot of credit to John Snyder and to Pete Carroll for what they've done, having that team 7-6. Getting out from under what is a catastrophe now in Denver with Russell Wilson. 7-6 of the Seahawks. Again, that's 8-15 coming up later on tonight. Clearly, the Seahawks, and Brent Hulverson, our betting analyst, wagering analyst, joins us again. They saw in Russell Wilson what others, including the Broncos, certainly did not.
Oh, yeah. And they got, the pretty penny out there for him. Geno Smith, though, wow. I mean, talk about a guy you just thought they'd kind of just throw it in for the year. Really has turned on. And Kenneth Walker, he's looked great running the ball. So hats off to it. It should be a good game tonight. It really, truly should. What's up, my man?
Now, you've got a good Thursday nighter. Make no mistake about
absolutely.
that. Again, 49ers and Seahawks later on.
And what about Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got some rib issues tonight, so hopefully he can play through it. But Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick in the NFL, he hopped in, 2 weeks ago now, drove him hard, and then last week looked great. I mean, the kids really look good. I love a good story like that. Mr. Irrelevant, he wasn't going to make it, didn't make it, and then he made it. And he came in, and he's making it happen right now, so it's pretty exciting to watch.
People have asked me before, if you could pick any coach you wanted to pick and move forward with that coach right now, who would it be? And I think it would be Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I would say so, too. That's a great call. I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, look at Mike McDaniel. That's a guy that I didn't know a whole lot about. He's really quirky and weird. He's one of those guys. He's just got a good football mind. But Shanahan, absolutely. I think that's good. Matt LaFleur. I'm a big Matt LaFleur fan. I don't know.
Well, I know you are.
I might be a little biased,
You're
John.
a Packer guy.
Might be a little biased.
Like the way that they have in San Francisco adjusted to a variety of things, that has been impressive to me. And you're able to maintain, able to sustain with him, whether we're talking about quarterbacks. You go out there and draft your future quarterback in Trey Lance. You finally put him into it this year. He gets injured. Jimmy Garoppolo is getting them wins whenever he's in. He's done maybe for the season. He could return if they go really deep into the postseason here. And then you have, Brock Purdy, who comes in as Mr. Irrelevant and takes hold 2 weeks ago, and it seems like most of the time they don't miss a beat. And I think there's a great deal of influence that comes from your head coach, and especially one like Shanahan that's so offensive-minded.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where I would go right now. If I could choose any head coach in the NFL, I think I'd go there.
Yeah, and I think it's a great call. And shout out to the front office, too, going out and getting a Christian McCaffrey, right? Like, that's a big move, but it's a move that needed to be made, right? They had some running back issues, and then they got rid of Jeff Wilson, and now enter Christian McCaffrey. I mean, again, adding a big bullet to that gun for the offense, and then a guy like Shanahan. I love the younger coaches, right? Like these younger coaches that have come in the league in the last 5 years, they just come in. They got a little bit more offensive-minded firepower, which I like to see.
Those Saturday games, by the way, the Colts and the Vikings, 1 o'clock. The start, 10 a.m. with me. That is the Colts pregame huddle, 10 a.m. And 1 o'clock is the kick from Minneapolis. Colts and Vikings coming up on Saturday. The middle of 3 NFL games on Saturday features the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens and the Browns from Cleveland. And then at 8:15, you've got some heavy snow and some weather to look for. The 10-3 Bills host the 8-5 Dolphins. We'll see if that weather at all has any effect to the downfield passing game of Tua that has been better than anybody at quarterback in the NFL this year.
Absolutely. And again, we talked earlier, he struggled last week, right? I mean, but they've got, you know what they have, John? They have 2,000-yard receivers.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Oh, yeah.
And Jalen Waddle still has the best touchdown dance out there. I like watching that little Waddle move. But, they've got the firepower. If that weather, again, I think that's going to be the key to this game, right? If it's wicked, if it's cold, if it's snowing, that's Buffalo Bill football right there.
That is hard to shy away, even with the number at 7 points as the favorites for the Bills. You consider the weather and that situation. normally I wouldn't go the 7, but to me, I think you can realistically look at it that way because of what Mother Nature may bring to the table on Saturday.
Sure, and and again, that's kind of why you have to, betting-wise, right? You have to watch and you have to put that into your mindset when you're betting on these games because that can control a lot of stuff. So you watch it, and again, I think we talked about it not too long ago. Remember that Colts-Buffalo game, call it 4 or 5 years ago, when they snow was dumping down. They had to come shovel the lines. Every play they had a chance. And, again, that really controls the game because now you're talking really going to a true running game almost, right? So then you're talking Raheem Mostert and Singletary, right? Yeah. So it's those two against each other. Again, I think where the Buffalo Bills, and again, Tua is a great running quarterback as well, but you got Josh Allen, man. That guy can run all over him, so watch out for him.
Bennedict analyst Brent Hulverson with us, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. It is a Thursday at Coach's Tavern downtown. We'll come back and wrap it up coming up after this and tell you where we're going to be. A brand new location will add to a Bud Light Blue Friday coming up tomorrow on the southeast side. I'll explain next. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, this is different. It's Saturday. On Saturday, the Colts play the Vikings in Minnesota Saturday. Matt Taylor has the kickoff at 1 o'clock on your home for the Colts. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Indy's number 1 for new country. I got some famous friends. Long neck, high strong beard, never broke my. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
PAI, WeGrowHairEddie.com, your real growing hair, a phone call away. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Indy's number 1 for new country. I got some famous friends. Long neck, high strong beard, never broke my. Nobody plays more new country. 97.1 Hank FM.
Hey, the best in plumbing's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing had him out to my place, Kevin and the gang, last week. I'm telling you, no matter the situation, plumbing-wise, and especially plumbing emergencies, that's the place for you. But I had a situation with a gas connector in my new range in the kitchen that I had no idea, honestly, that Lance and his local team would come out there and fix up for you. So keep that in mind, too. Full service, the best in plumbing emergencies, and more. That's LD Smith Plumbing. 317-927-7186 online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Are you still looking for the perfect holiday gift? You know what I'm talking about. The one that gets passed around the room and you hear a lot of oohs and ahs? Then come to Shane Company. We put so much love and care into the fine jewelry we create. Our classic styles are true treasures. With our expertise and attention to detail, they can be handed down to the next generation and look as beautiful as the day you bought them. They're a great investment. We have diamond tennis bracelets, classic solitaire pendants, and styles with cultured pearls. Our diamond stud earrings make a wonderful holiday gift because they'll never lose that amazing sparkle. We have a wide range of shapes and carat weights to choose from, so it'll be easy to find studs in your price range. We also offer studs in a variety of colorful gemstones. And with Shane Company's generous upgrade policy, you can upgrade your studs at any time. Visit us in-store or shop online and enjoy free 2-day shipping. It's never too late to give a gift they'll treasure forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Every Thursday, me and our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson. This time of year, Heaven Hill Distillery, eggnog.
'Tis the season to be merry, right, John? So the number 1 eggnog in the world, Evan Williams Eggnog. Get out and get it and celebrate some cheers. Spread some spirits out there.
Merry Christmas to you from Heaven Hill Distillery, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Football fans can turn a loss into a win with the king of sportsbooks. Just place a single first touchdown score prop bet on any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet loses, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. This offer is available all season long. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM. Just log into your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Turn game time into showtime with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as now withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
I got a great idea, fellas, for you for this holiday season. If you're just mind scrambled about what to get her, what to get that significant other, make it naturally nude pajamas, courtesy of Pajamagram at pajamagram.com. Even more alluring than lingerie, naturally nude pajamas. She will dig, and so will you. And right now, if you order just in time for the holiday season, you will get absolutely free as a $75 value, matching naturally nude nightie as well. Again, that's a $75 value at pajamagram.com. So there it is, your opportunity to go big and be original and be a hero this holiday season. Naturally nude pajamas with pajamagram.com. Again, tell them JMV sent you. That's pajamagram.com.
Start a new career with a job that keeps your community safe. The Marion County Sheriff, Carrie Forrestal, is hiring detention deputies to work in the brand new Community Justice Center. You'll supervise and guard offenders, making Marion County a better place to live. Starting pay begins at around $40,000 a year with a $5,000 signing bonus. Enjoy great benefits like complete health coverage and pension plan. Start your career as a detention deputy and earn the respect of your community. Apply today at joinmcso.indy.gov.
Save big at Payless Liquors. Early Times and Canadian Mist in the 100 milliliter bottles are only 99 cents. Jim Beam Whiskey Calendars $6.99 and Stirring's Cocktail Calendars $34.99. At all 26 Payless Liquor locations, Miller High Life and the 12-ounce non-returnables are $8.99. Stella Rosa Moscato d'Asti, Coppola Diamond Shard, and Parrot Bay Buckets are all $9.99 each. And for just $39.99, pick up the Maker's Mark 375 milliliter gift set and check out Payless's assorted candy canes. Don't pay more, get more at Payless at Payless Liquors.
Catch another Bud Light Blue Friday broadcast with JMV from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill. Enter the football toss, and you could be the next fan to win a pair of tickets to see the Colts take on the Chargers.
The Chicago Bears take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday at noon on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
If somebody gets in your face and calls you a I want you to be nice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Number 9 right now, 239-1070. May 26th, the Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Ludacris will open up for the incredible Janet Jackson. You've seen me a part of Rhythm Nation before. The Janet Tour back in 93. Janet Jackson headlines. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center coming up on May the 26th. In fact, I believe Carb Day is that afternoon, and then you can just head on up to Ruoff for Janet Jackson and Ludacris. Number 9 at 239-1070 is going to go on us. Quick, shout out to everybody at Live Nation for that call in the game. That is absolutely outstanding right there. Number 9, 239-1070. Janet Jackson, Ludacris, May the 26th at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. I mentioned, too, the Chaparral Sports Bar is our location. I think I was calling it the Blue Chaparral. I think that's what it used to be called. It says here it is the Chaparral Sports Bar, so I will get that right. That's coming up tomorrow, Southeastern Avenue on a Bud Light Blue Friday. I love when we add new places to our Bud Light Blue Fridays with your chance to win Chargers Colts tickets. That's coming up tomorrow. The Chaparral Sports Bar and Grill, Southeastern Avenue, the southeast side of Indianapolis, on a Bud Light Blue Friday. That is coming up tomorrow. Our friend Christian down at the Brown County Music Center has a show coming up on Saturday as well.
Saturday, Starship is there. And
Mickey Thomas in Starship is, Mickey Thomas did, Sarah, and I think Mickey Thomas did We Built This City, I think, too. I know a lot of the 80s stuff.
Absolutely. And he's got you some tickets, John, so hopefully you're feeling well enough to get down there and bless their presence.
I believe Mickey Thomas did Fooled Around and Fell in Love, too. I know Elvin Bishop was the artist, but I thought Mickey Thomas did that as well. So, no, good time at the Brown County Music Center on Saturday.
I tell you what, Christian is one of the greatest guys that you'll ever meet, number one. But number two, the venue down there is one of the best sounding, the best seats. I think they heard that the furthest away is 109 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
And it holds 2,000 people. There's not a better venue for that,
not.
John. I mean, I hope you have a chance to make it down there. Again, it's a great spot to see in beautiful Brown County, Indiana. It's beautiful.
All right, and we also had something else to talk about. Our next Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Week 16.
Week 16, next Thursday, we will be at the world-famous Slippery Noodle.
Yep.
Go see our friends Cap, Marty, all the gang over there. Slippery Noodle, next Thursday. Come on out and let's have some Christmas cheer, right, before the holiday.
And remember, too, the chili cook-off to benefit Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital. That's on Sunday. You got to have your chili rep in by 12:30, and we'll start the tasting at 2 o'clock on Sunday. That's at Joe's Grill in Castleton.
Joe's Grill, Castleton. Bring your chili, drop it off. Be ready in your crock pot. They'll plug it in for you. They'll give you a number. We will be tasting before they open the realms, and it's $5, all-you-can-eat chili. So after we judge at 2 o'clock, it opens the reins up. So usually 25 different batches of chili. Man, it's a great time. Looking forward to that, John.
Yeah, you got that coming up on Sunday. We'd love to see you guys up there. And again, that benefits Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital. Great job today. Oh, we better do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, we better do that because I don't want to get you sick right here. I don't think I'm sick. Hey, listen, I made it through like a champ today.
You really did. I'm impressed.
I made it through like a champ. Just take some shots, drink a little Larceny, and we're all feeling good right there.
What the doctor ordered, my friend.
You got it, buddy. Thank you, Brent.
Hey, pleasure, man.
Our betting analyst, Brent Hulverson, right there. Thank you to Tommy Sutton for having us at the Coach's Tavern. Again, this is going to be an outstanding weekend here. IU Kansas coming up on Saturday. You got Purdue and Davidson across the street, Ball State, Illinois State. You got all your sports, Colts and Vikings on in here coming up on Saturday, too. Big weekend here at Coach's Tavern. Zach Siana, outstanding job from you. Cam, once again, great job engineering. And Eddie Garrison worked double duty today. He worked the noon show and then this show. Kyle Unimark, having the craps, I think is going to be back coming up tomorrow at the Chaparral Sports Bar. Coming up tomorrow, Bud Light Blue Friday at 3 o'clock Southeastern Avenue. Be there. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Have a great night.
It's Kevin and Query.
Matt Miller, ESPN.com draft analyst.
The total number of quarterbacks that will go off the board that you